Injured in an accident? You may be entitled to a bigger settlement, up to 3.5 times bigger. Your initial consultation is 100% free, and we don't get paid unless we win your case. No matter the accident, we are here to help. The advocates will fight for you because you deserve clarity, you deserve justice, you deserve guidance, you deserve an advocate. Contact us today.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show, live on Wednesday, September 24th, 2025. Yes, it is already the last week of September. Crazy how fast this year is going by. Just incredible. As always, we are presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com, 24/7, 365. Don't fight your insurance company alone, man. If you've been in an accident, you know how difficult it is to get what you deserve, right? You didn't deserve to get into an accident. You didn't deserve for your insurance company or the offending party's insurance company to try and short you and not give you what you deserve. No. That's not the way the game's supposed to be played. That's why you hand the insurance process to the advocates so you can get back to the best version of yourself, whether you've been bitten by a dog. I've heard so many of those stories in the last couple of months. Heck, we even talked about one of my Uber drivers lately. Her daughter was attacked by their neighbor's dog. Yeah, you need an injury attorney for that because you don't think that the insurance companies are going to take care of you on that. No. Let the advocates fight the fight that they've fought so many times and won. And the best part is you never pay out of pocket because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case 24/7, 365. You can talk to a live attorney at theadvocates.com. TJ Beck, how the heck are you? He's first one in today. Mike Smith. Hey. Mike, what's going on, dude? Hope you're well. Preston. Happy hump day. Ho!
Yeah.
I'm just going to warn you, it's going to be one of those shows. I have a ton of energy today and I have no idea why. Maybe hey, took the needle last night with the Zepbound, maybe, bumped up to the 7.5 now. So we've gone from 2.5 to 5.0. Now we're on 7.5. We're pushing 30 pounds here. Like, maybe we're just a little more energetic. Maybe we're feeling our oats a little bit, Jake.
Okay. Hey, I mean, I'm glad you're feeling well, dude. I'm glad you're feeling well.
No, you're not. Real Pete Forte, hello. Wow, look at the avatar. Speaking of energy, I asked my mom if she took Tylenol while preggo with me. She said, nope, just smoke and drank. Dodged a bullet there, Mom. Look at P4 rolling in here. We were talking about this before the show because obviously so many people have been talking about Jimmy Kimmel. And I said, it's wild to me that here we are and our president is anti-First Amendment. And Jake's like, and Tylenol. I'm like, come on, man. Like that. And now.
You got to say it right. It's not just Tylenol. It's Tylenol.
Hydroxychloroquine. Okay. Toot Gundy. What news did I miss yesterday? Nothing. Why do I get the feeling that I've been left behind? Yeah. I gotta tell you, I miss all of the people that were raptured off of TikTok and
it's another day, another Monty program. I know the rapture must have passed us by, but
is anybody here willing to be brave enough and admit you thought the rapture was real? I mean, Oak State James in the rectory, he thinks Mike Gundy got raptured out of Stillwater. That's not what happened, James.
I knew today would be shitty.
I don't know if James is here or not, but I want
if
you
he's
to
not here, he's probably charting with Dana.
Yeah, with Dana. which basically means his right hand, right? Like, because that's who Dana is. And never mind. The point is,
That's who you're charting with.
That's who you're charting with. I don't know. I don't think anybody here thought the rapture was real. I really don't. Oh, there he is right there. It's Hump Day. Hit the like button.
McCack.
Okay. Good afternoon, Steely. Good to see you. Monty. Okay. I like it.
Timothy.
How am I getting eviscerated? I didn't get fired. Mike Gundy did.
Yeah, but you're a Mike Gundy guy, dude.
Right. And he's just another notch on your belt of death.
We don't take any shit.
Right? Like, yeah. I mean, SMU, Preston Stone, like how many guys have you pronounced dead by pronouncing them amazing? Ollie Gordon,
Jake Retzloff.
I mean, how many guys? You have ruined so many careers.
Josh
right?
Ford.
And that it's funny because there's also a rebound effect. Dak Prescott's the worst quarterback in the history of bad quarterbacks. He takes Tylenol, Monty. Well, now he's having the best year of anybody in the NFL so far. So, you know.
Hey, James, why don't you do a Lamar take next? He needs your help too. Like maybe if you could just, say that he sucks and he's terrible, maybe that'll help him rebound,
Maybe. Gumby, dude. I wasn't raptured. Also, Willie Cox needs fired. And Willie Cox. How did you guys lose that game? Hey, Jimmy Otson. Good to see you, bud.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. What the? No, anyway. I've never seen James and Dana in the same room at the same time. Yeah, it's not possible. Yeah, it's not possible. It is. Do you guys, because James, he named it. He named it. He named his beefsteak Dana. Right? So, brother. Brother. Do you have a name for it, Jake?
No. Nope.
Okay.
I'm not.
Big
I'm
Papa,
not, no.
or in your case, Little Papa.
Yeah.
Ipso facto, it's mine.
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah.
Just okay. James KOD is undefeated. He told Jake he loved him, and now Jake lives in Oregon. Jake ran, bro. Jake,
you don't sit there and look at it. You flush it and move on.
You move on. Okay. Holding on to the head coach longer than necessary. At least the Oak State had the guts to do the deed with Gundy. Exactly. All right, let's get to work on the Monty Show because I think this story on the college football playoff, it's going exactly to plan, in my opinion. I think you're going to get a situation. The college football playoff's going to expand. Stop with this nonsense with all these national writers and, the Pete Thamols. It's Pete Thamel. The Pete Thamols of the world. Like,
we have Feinbaum.
I'm watching Feinbaum the other day. Well, maybe and I know this is crazy, and I hate to say this out loud on the show. Paul Feinbaum's been right about this from the jump because he said,
what are you talking about, man?
What Greg Sanki wants, Greg Sanki gets. The Godfather wants an expanded playoff, and I think he's going to get it. And you look at the reporting on this, and we've been telling you for months now that Greg Sanki is hell or high water. The SEC is going to get more teams in the college football playoff. And again, I understand I'm the SEC guy on this show, and I throat Greg Sanki every chance I get.
Knee pad union.
But I'm telling you now, do you understand what a flex it was yesterday when the SEC released this schedule? Like, do you have, like, this ended the debate. This nonsense about, who is what, and hey, like, that nonsense is over. The SEC is the best football product in the country. And
For real.
I don't know how you argue that. You look at what I continue to tell you about schedules in the Big Ten. You look at the fact that you have cupcakes and Indiana plays nobody and yet still gets a spot on a one-hit wonder into the college football playoff. And then you look at these rivalries Look at the rivalries. Look at the way that the SEC is protecting their biggest television matchups and revenues, and Alabama and Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee. I mean, you look at Georgia and Auburn, Georgia, Florida, between the hedges. You like every game you want. Texas, Texas A&M, Texas and Oklahoma, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina, and Kentucky. Like, you need these games. And it is very clear to me that the SEC is acutely aware of that. And all this schedule release was a flex by the SEC to say we're not going anywhere, because the best teams in the SEC, and arguably outside of Ohio State, the best teams in the SEC are the best teams in the country. And you start looking at the conversations we've been having on this show. And how many times have I told you these conference commissioners collab? They talk on a regular basis. How many times have I told you Greg Sanki and Brett Yormark are having conversations on a regular basis?
Well, how is that possible, Monty? They hate each other and they never talk. What do you mean?
Well,
Come on.
But then you start hearing these stories, and it's every day now. And I know you guys think I'm just being a red ass and you always take credit for everything. What have I told you about the college football playoff? That the Power Four conferences are going to figure out how to expand the college football playoff. All this nonsense about, well, maybe it stays at 12. It's not staying at 12. It was never staying at 12. I've told you that these commissioners talk on a regular basis, even though the jackwagons want to tell you, oh, they hate each other and they're competitors. And yeah, it turns out that's not the case. And now today, Ross Stellinger essentially tweets what I've been telling you for a month, that the P4 commissioners are working together, led by Greg Sankey, to find a solution. And that what we continue to tell you is the Big Ten is on the outside looking in. And what do you have? The Big Ten ADs are circulating a concept to grant the P4 AQs in a 20-plus team playoff format. So you have the ACC, the Big 12, and really it's Brett Yormark and Greg Sankey. And remember, you heard it here first months ago. Greg Sankey and Brett Yormark and other like-minded folks, Jim Phillips occasionally, are trying to find a solution that they believe can work for all of college football. And you've got the Big Ten coming up with a as many as 32 team playoff that's going to be divided equally amongst the four Power Four conferences. I don't know how many other ways we can say the Big Ten can continue to work to try and keep the SEC from gaining more influence that they've earned, frankly, in my opinion, over the college football playoff. But it's a fait accompli, man. It is Aaron Rodgers, ipso facto, man. The SEC schedule's better. The SEC plays bigger, more important, better viewership games. And the Big Ten just simply does not. They don't. You look at the schedule on a regular basis. On a regular basis, Ohio State plays the only game of consequence in that conference on a week in and week out basis. And I got to tell you, that's not probably going to change anytime soon, because I look at even like Illinois USC. Is that really a game? That game is this weekend in Champaign. Is Illinois USC a game where you're like, well, goddamn, honey, we got to schedule, the smash fest around USC Illinois.
No, there's only one game in the Big Ten this week.
And what is it, Jake?
Cock on Thigh versus Dan Lanning.
And I think Ohio State and Washington is one of the biggest games of the weekend, because I personally believe, and I agree with you, there's no doubt that Knuckle Deep Boys hosting Oregon is a huge game.
But there's no doubt that there's a conversation to be had about Washington not being talked about in any conversation.
I'm telling you, Washington is a much better football, but we'll get to that. But my point is, how big is LSU at Ole Miss this week?
Well, I mean, I think I think, obviously it's a big game, but I think that
Alabama, Georgia.
the way I like to categorize this, first of all, this is definitely one of the best weeks in college football in the season this year. So, I mean,
Yes.
if you haven't looked at the schedule, you're living under a rock, look at the schedule, plan your weekend around it. Make sure you clear the schedule, because this is going to be a great weekend on TV. But yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the matchups in the SEC, the biggest difference for me is that that word compelling, right? Bama versus any top tier SEC team is a compelling game, right? That could be Bama, Georgia, Bama, LSU, Bama, Texas, Bama, like any of those teams. That's going to be a matchup that I'm really interested in. I think that the advantage that the SEC has, in my estimation, over the Big Ten is that when you get, like, let's say Kentucky, Ole Miss, that game theoretically on paper is not like some incredible game. But when you get it on the tube, Kentucky seems to put up a hell of a fight, and in some years wins that game somehow. And so you get these, you get just these awesome matchups. And it's not to say the Big Ten doesn't have some of that vibe, but you're exactly right. I agree. USC, Illinois doesn't exactly have the same ring to it that, Bama, Georgia has, or like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like I'm not even convinced. See, this is for me personally.
Why
is the
are you
problem.
Spinning? Why are you spinning?
Convinced. Well, because I'm trying to be fair, right? I'm trying again.
Why?
I'm working hard.
Why?
I'm working hard not to be an absolute asshole about the Big Ten.
Well, that would be an improvement.
Yeah, somehow I always find my way back to the yellow brick road that leads me back down the path of, even though it's Dan Lanning, and I'm the president of the knee pad union for Dan Lanning, even though it's Dan Lanning in Penn State, I'm not even convinced that that's the best game of the week on the college football slate. That's the problem. And it's Oregon at Penn State in Penn State's whiteout game, which again is typically a really good game. But again, you look at the SEC schedule and it's like, dude, look at these games over here. How are you not excited about what's happening over here? That's the hard part.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how all that plays out. It is. I think it is without question. It's without question that I feel like the SEC plays the biggest games every single week, and I think Ohio State. And I agree with you. Obviously, knuckle deep, Oregon, huge game. Okay, great. So you've got two big games in the Big Ten. If you look at the schedule, Ohio State, Bama, Georgia is the biggest game in college football this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about it. But if I look at Auburn, Texas A&M now is a very big game. The LSU and Ole Miss in the SIP, that's a huge game.
Great game.
Right? It continues week in and week out. And this is why firing Mike Gundy was so critical for the Big 12, because I'm begging you in this conference, I'm begging you to raise the gosh darn bar, raise the bar, play bigger games, hire better coaches, recruit better players, win bigger games, make more money, draw more TV audience, bring in more all-state sponsorships. Like, I'm begging you to do everything that the SEC has been doing for years on end already, which is why they're in the position that they're in. And I say all of this to say it's really difficult to overcome what the SEC has built now. And it's very few teams. And again, this is why I have so much respect for what Ohio State's built, because I feel like Ohio State has really been able to overcome the scandal-ridden Big Ten can't get the job done on a regular basis league that the Big Ten has become.
Ohio State.
And much to their credit, the ACC finds a way to be relevant. Obviously, with Ohio State being the best team in the country for several years now, the Big Ten is relevant. The SEC is always relevant. And who's not? The Big 12. It is the story of college football. The Big 12 cannot seem to find a way to be relevant on a year in and year out basis. And it's because of things like Mike Gundy not winning a game last year and instead getting to keep his job. So I'm happy that happened. But at the end of the day, should the college football playoff be expanded? Like, Jake, what is ideally, how many teams would you put in?
Yeah, I mean, I think 20 is a nice number. I think the thing that gets all the attention is how many teams should be in the college football playoff. But I'm not even sure that that's the most important factor. I think the most important factor is still how we decide those teams, because this sort of grappling match over like AQs and like how we're going about determining like who gets in, who doesn't get in, and if you get in, how much money are you making versus not getting in? Like, those are all things where I say, like, dude, like, we got to be on the same page. We got to be in a place where everybody, and this is why you're seeing all this, hey, everyone's playing 9 conference games and 10 P4s or whatever. That's why you're seeing all of this, but I'm just a little bit, burned out on like 16 teams, 20 teams, 80 teams. Like, dude, okay, great. Like, whatever number you feel like works for the greater good, awesome. But I don't want to keep talking about Florida State getting stiffed or 9-3 Alabama not getting in. Like, I want it to be like, that's where I think the actual progress needs to be made. And I think,
not the number, but how.
Yeah, not the number, but how. I mean, because I could create a college football playoff that's 40 teams deep, but if getting in is super complicated and convoluted and the average football fan doesn't understand it.
Not even that, dude. What if it's the opposite? Well, everybody gets in.
Then you don't have a college football playoff.
Isn't that worse than not having? See, and that's why I think it can't be 20, 24, 32. I think 16 is a really good number as long as the criteria is locked in. You won this many games. You did not. Oh, you guys both won 9 games. Okay, well then the criteria says that you're out and you're in. Congratulations. That it's black and white, so we don't get any more, idiot Jabba the Ann Arbor, fixing the college football playoff last year. And slanting it to the Big Ten and putting ACC teams in that had no business being in. And I think, again, it worked out perfectly because screw Michigan and Ohio State went on a run of a lifetime.
Screw Michigan, screw cock on thigh,
I think I personally don't think, and I don't care how many teams are in the new entity, which is coming, by the way. I think it's 16 teams, and it is based on wins and losses and rock-solid tiebreakers. We don't need a 20 to 24 team playoff. What does that accomplish?
Well, the only thing I think it opens or puts on the table for conversation is just obviously the TV money portion of it or ad dollar portion of it. But, I mean, at that point, what are you talking about? Like 2-3 more games at that point? Like, it's not like we're talking about, another month worth of college football at that point.
No.
It's not like there's, hundreds upon hundreds of millions of dollars that are being lost by not doing 20 instead of 16. And so but
isn't that why you have to take out automatic qualifiers?
I mean, I think you should have to take out automatic qualifiers. I see, again, though, and again, it's the easy answer, but this is why it needs to be the NFL minor league model, because again, we have this very clear situation of like, hey, if you do X, you're qualified. You've made the playoffs. You've made the college football playoff. And then we have it's much like in I feel like college football needs this desperately to be clear, but like in college basketball, we have like the last weekend of the season where it's like, hey, like you got to win this game, or you got to do, like, we know what those teams need to do to kind of get in. And I feel like it's this situation every year where it's like, okay, well, if you win this game, but then these 3 do X, Y, or Z, then we're not sure if you're in or not. Like that's what needs to change. And I think that, the word that comes to mind about this is the exclusivity of it. Like, you can't have, too many slots, or else it devalues the pool.
No, it doesn't devalue the pool. What does it really devalue? Well, it devalues the regular season. It devalues the games that we've all come to love so much. And it's why I am 100% all in. Give me a new entity, wins and losses, tiebreakers. Let's go play football.
Yeah.
And I think it is vitally important that we eliminate automatic qualifiers because if we're being honest, going to a bowl game anymore doesn't matter. Now it's, are you in the playoff or are you not? And I think the bowl game product is still going to be there. It makes good money. It's going to be there. What I'm telling you is we cannot devalue the regular season. I think we cannot devalue, like, I don't know if conference championship games remain as valuable as we all make them. My feeling is in a new entity that goes away anyway. But I am passionate that automatic qualifiers can no longer be part of this process. We need a new college football entity that eliminates the NCAA, thereby eliminating automatic qualifiers, and you put the P4 into a new entity. And I know everybody's going to be like, well, Monty, what about Boise State? Well, you can't please all the people all the time. And I will remain steadfast. The G5, whether you want to believe me or not, I am telling you the G5 is exploring their own playoff system that will make them exponentially more money, which is exactly what they should do. And if you want to say, hey, the champion of the G5 playoff gets an auto bid into the college football playoff, maybe. But under no circumstances can AQs continue and can we devalue the regular season, because I want Georgia, Florida to be a leverage game. I want the Iron Bowl to be a leverage game. I want the Civil War to be a leverage game. I want the Holy War to be a leverage game. I want regular season games in September and October and November to matter, because that's what the heart and soul of college football is and has been. I'm 53 and I am telling you now, or I will be 53. I am telling you now, Notre Dame, Michigan, Notre Dame, SC, Notre Dame, Miami, those games mattered in my childhood. And I just cannot get on board with any scenario where rivalry games and big games, the Red River Shootout, you pick the one. I cannot get on board in a scenario where those games get devalued, because I don't think it's the right thing to do. And I'm just not willing to do it. I truly am not.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. More.
So, in the comments section, how many teams do you want in the college football playoff? How many years have we argued over it? Because this has got to be year 4 that we've argued over this. 16. I think 16 is a good number. He said Red River shoot. I know.
Dude, come on, dude.
I'm a bad person.
What the fuck are you, Angel Rick?
Yeah, how many times am I going to tell you guys I'm a bad person? It's fine. LOL, Assmaster 5000 session sharding. Okay. Day-old donuts. Monty, then we need to end the FCS games. I don't disagree with that at all. And again, I continue to sit here and tell you guys, the biggest problem in the Big Ten is they don't play anybody the first month of the season. And there is a very clear delineation. Like, you look at the absolute frauds in Knuckle Deep Country and Happy Ending Valley on Epstein Island, and we're undefeated, and you've played Nevada, FIU, and Villanova, and now you get Oregon on Epstein Island, and then you go to UCLA. So you're going to play 5 games. 4 of them are wins before you ever even start practice that week. Like, what kind of schedule is that? Right? And I at least give somebody like an SC credit, because you play 2 cupcakes and you go into conference play. Okay. I look at Ohio State. They've got Texas, Grambling, Ohio, and now they're playing at Washington. I give them a lot of credit for that. I oddly enough, I give Michigan a lot of credit. Michigan's played at Oklahoma and at Nebraska and split those 2 games.
Why would the Big Ten play anybody when they don't have to? James Franklin is 4-20 against top 10 opponents.
I agree, man. I don't know. I don't know. Mike Smith. Well. Monty with the I want. Simmer down, Veruca Salt. With the I want. Veruca Salt. That's a hell of a poll, my guy. Hey, Tony, Anthony.
Hey, Tone the barber.
Auto bids are the only way. Auto bids are the only way that makes sense. Take humans and computer polls out of it. Make a complete and exact formula. I'm telling you, that's coming. I have talked to so many people in college football who want nothing to do with Jabba the Manual last year. I have talked to so many people who want a clear line. You won enough games or you didn't. And if you're tied, here is a rock solid tiebreaker. Oh, I know, the NFL model of getting in or not getting in. And I think it's the only way forward, honestly. Lopes fan Gabe, like button, casuals. Yeah, I got chewed out. Yesterday because I'm not saying hit the like button, guys.
Hit the like button, guys.
Hit the like button. You guys would have so many more subscribers if you tell people to hit the like button.
I'm sure.
I'm terrible at it, and I appreciate guys like Lopes fan Gabe who continue to pound it.
Bro, really? Really, dude?
What you want me to say to them?
Honestly, I'd start stroking, guys.
Jake, I need my drops back. My mixer broke, so I got a brand new mixer, and I don't have any of my drops. You know, quote, too many teams to value the regular season. That's why college basketball is worth as little as it is. The regular season doesn't really count. Any team worth anything gets in. So why watch till March? It's a great point and a great comparison. Steely, James and Dana in the Civic could be. He's charting the Mike Gundy addiction group. I believe he is.
Bro.
Oak State James takes it on this show every day. Day-old donuts,
dude,
Red Vines or Twizzlers? What?
What am I supposed to say to that? Oak State James takes it on this show every day.
He does. Am I on live stream? Am I wrong?
Length and girth.
Right? Length and girth. And I'm being a jerk. I'm sorry. I'm having a major text incident.
Yeah, I'm
texting with somebody about a different major story that I'm trying to, Red Vines all day long. Twizzlers are.
Yeah, Twizzlers are mid, dude.
But again, crusty old Monty. I don't eat red dye number 40 or really any artificial colors anymore. Any artificial dyes. So I love Red Vines. I would snort cocaine through a Red Vine if I did cocaine, but I don't. So I don't usually do that. But
cocaine
fat ass, the fat ass inside of me. I used to love chocolate Twizzlers. Drinking chocolate milk through a chocolate Twizzler is what life is about. Okay, I mean, Brother. Look, seriously, before we all found sex as men, tell me you didn't drink chocolate milk through a chocolate Twizzler. And if you didn't, your mom hated you. And that's probably true, but it is what it is.
Sucking a ding dong.
Vibrator Jim. Man, it's only Wednesday.
I've prayed for moments like that.
Bro, what kind of name is that, dude?
And why do you have an electrical outlet as an avatar?
I think we understand why that's his picture, bro.
Charging that thing up. Wyoming, a top 7 team in the state, has still not been invited to the SEC. What are we doing,
bro?
Right?
What are we doing with that name, dude? Come on.
Dude, are the Dodgers ever going to win another game, Chewy? Like, again, I'm not trying to be a red ass about Shohei Ohtani pitching. Did you guys see this mess last night for the Doyers?
Well, Ohtani went like 15 scoreless innings. They took him out and they lost the game.
6 innings, 5 hits, no earned, 8 Ks, 91 pitches. And again, I'm not trying to rain on your parade, my guy. Why don't you sign me and put me in the bullpen? I could do just as poorly as the guys you're running out there. I am telling you now, and I know we have a lot of Dodger fans on this show. Hello, Los Angeles. We appreciate all the support. The Dodgers will not win a World Series with this bullpen. And I understand you owe guys like $1 million a year through like 2,178. But
it's the deferred money, Monty.
Dude, you don't have a bullpen. You're not winning. Trust me, I'm a Cub fan. I know it. Let's see. Who else is in today? Two Pants. Expand to a number where, quote, first team out isn't a realistic contender for a natty. I don't disagree with that. Brian says the Big Ten has the last two national champions. They don't. Only in that conference, only Ohio State has won a national championship recently. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but you know, Monty off for a piss break. No, unfortunately, what happened? Sometimes the people don't respect.
I don't live in a what if scenario.
You know, what if people didn't call me during the show? What if people didn't text me during the show with really important sourcing information? Monty took too much buckshot today. Dude, the Black Ant pre-workout have you guys seen this blowing up? Buckedup.com, use promo code Monty to get 20% off at checkout. You guys, I am telling you, Black Ant pre-workout with 100% of your daily creatine is amazing. It is the hottest pre-workout on the market. Get it at buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty. If you are not taking creatine, collagen, if you are not taking, I personally am a believer you need to take magnesium every day. But if you're not getting if you're a guy that works out, you're not taking pre-workout, this Black Ant stuff will change your life. And it's 20% off when you use the promo code Monty.
Lidocaine and B12.
I am just telling you now. You know. Hey, Monty, buckshot or smelling salt? Smelling salt it will wreck your life. That stuff. I almost died on the Utah Grizzlies bench when I was doing hockey games, when I was broadcasting hockey games. Dude, those smelling salts they will end you. Dodgers need Tylenol, bleach to drink, and powerful UV lights. Dude, they need something in the bullpen because it is rough. The natural. Reds lose to the Pirates, Cubs lose to the Mets. Dude, can the Cubs win another game? We were up 6-1 and lost that game. I just am amazed. Tony, Epstein State U should have an auto bid to the NAIA playoffs every year. I am telling you, the Knuckle Deep boys, the pedos in Happy Ending Valley should not have a football program. So, you know, Dodgers have a bunch of Gundys in the bullpen. They really do. Dale Donuts, are people assuming early playoff games will play as much as sim final games will? Well, I don't know. I think it makes zero sense to have the purse equal across the bracket.
Yeah, why would you do that?
I think if you win a first round game, it should be $1. You win a second round game, it should be $2. A third round game it should double in the early rounds, and then there should be a huge purse for the winner of the national championship game. So, Vibrator Jim, didn't Michigan win 2 years ago? No, I don't think so. Cheating your way to a victory doesn't count. So,
Why don't you fuck off?
They did. I'm being a jerk wagon. Timothy O'Hara. I know this is going to upset Monty, but every team should be in every team in a conference if you want to make because that model has not worked and it caps you financially. But I love all the people who get the blood flowing to the lower level when they try to find a reason that Notre Dame, who's not only thriving but prospering, is the clearly one of the economic leaders in college football. Oh yeah, they need to change what they're doing. Join a conference.
Notre Dame, our mother.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Michigan, Ann Arbor, Astros. Exactly right. That's exactly right. Take a quick break while Stadium James resets the devices in his ass and gets that thing put back together. That plus much, much more on the Monty Show.
Hugh Janus.
You know. King of Thailand, Manjaro has done things to me the 5 days I am different. Oh, do tell. You guys, if you're not on Zepbound, I'm telling you, if you need to lose weight, I've now lost just short of 30 pounds since August 6th, and sleeping better, eating better, working out better, you know. Waking up every morning and the flag is at the top of the pole, like I'm telling you.
Bro.
The natural Ann Arbor Astros has a great ring to it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You know. Yeah.
Dude, well, wake up every day and the flag's up the pole. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, you know.
Dude, I'm telling you. Mapes, hold up. Is this 23 championship gear? I bought the fake stuff that gets sent to poor places. It is.
Because it's garbage.
It is. The scumbag losers in Ann Arbor cheated your way to a championship. James is charting his special time with his right hand, a.k.a. Dana. Chica pow, chica pow pow, chica pow pow. It's never going away. I still think you do 14 teams and do 2 wild card games in the CFP to get to 16 total teams. I'd be open to that. You know, Cam Harris says, no, soundbite. Okay, why are we? God, you guys are.
No.
No. Michigan has a big old chocolate starfish symbol next to their natty. So it is going to be that. It is going to be that way.
Yeah, we're you know. Yeah.
You know. Jake, e-bike purchase yet?
Not a chance. No interest.
Really? Why don't you? You wouldn't. You don't want to. I bought a bike that's e-assisted. I have a Trek Verve.
Yeah, I mean, it just isn't like. I don't know. I mean, it's not really set like where you live. It's kind of easy to like ride around through the neighborhoods and stuff. But where I live, it's not really like that. It's just like one neighborhood off the main road, and now you're on the road with the cars and the dualies, and you're like I'm probably 15 minutes from Eugene. So you know, it's just not. I don't really have a great use for it. I'm sure it'd be fun though.
It is fun. I haven't even opened the box yet. 30 pounds sounds like an extra inch to me. Oh.
Can you measure it?
She'd confirm for you. Oh, look. Dana Marie. Dude, I'm at work when I am talking about charting. This isn't a joke. Yeah. You stop joking about Oak State James and the things he says. Yeah. Okay. He is charting the gospel, my friend.
The victory has already been won.
That's right. That's right. Jakey about to have a little brother, Zepbound style.
Brother.
Exactly. And, you know, it's one of those things where, never mind. Nope. Yes. No. Yes.
No.
Jake is getting the seatless model. Okay. Wow.
I don't know why you're making butthole jokes about me. I'm not the one that's got an account named Vibrator Jim, Dana Marie, and you know, Stadium Guy James. You know.
You can make fun of me all you want. My job is not okay to joke about.
Oh, yeah.
Bro,
here we go.
Relax.
Here we go.
Please.
Dude, this show is, do not take anything. This
Look,
show
Tanner,
is.
take it easy, dude.
James, I think James needs to be reminded that you're a character on the show. You're a huge part of the show.
Hey, look here, man.
We talk about you. The comment section talks about you every day.
Every damn day, bro.
Embrace it. You say stupid shit. Like you stuck a probe up your ass. Everybody knows the butt buzzer now.
But when you share something like that, that's going to garner nicknames like Assmaster 5000. That's what's going to happen in the comment section. I mean, it's an inevitability, dude. It is part of the culture of the show.
Ipso facto, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, the butt buzzer's yours, dude. I'm sticking with butt buzzer. That's the That's the way. Yeah. And I can confirm through two sources that Greg Sanki has spoken to President Trump this week about the college football playoff and this new SCORE Act.
And it's very powerful.
So I'm telling you guys, this is moving faster than you probably think. Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting to see how all this plays out. The SCORE Act, I think, is going to happen because that's the only way. I think it's a long way. I think this is going to be at least a year, but I still maintain before the midterms next year, the SCORE Act will happen because Donnie's had a turbulent 9 months, and I think he's looking for a win. And if we know Donnie and when he wants it done,
hydroxychloroquine.
And right now he's got the horses to pull the cart. It needs to get done. 14 teams for the playoffs and use NFL model for seeding and tiebreakers. I'm here for it. Jake needs a free hand to fend off bears in the Oregon woods. Could be.
Sure, man.
Could be.
Man.
Could absolutely be. I think. Yeah. Exact. Oh, sorry. Dang it. Mapes made a comment about don't go full soaker mode. Yeah, just relax, you guys.
I don't even understand. What was even the joke about your job? Like
about charting and
oh. Yeah.
Can I just tell you? Can I just tell you? Nobody even knows what you do. Man.
Yeah, nobody even knows what charting like means as far as your job is concerned. The dude, bro, did you fully settled into Thailand? That's what this energy is right now. That's what this is, dude.
Oh, I am this is why I love this show. And this is all we do is sit here and talk sports the way dudes talk sports. That's what this show is about. And that we get millions of people who watch this show a month. Do you guys understand that? Oak State James, do you understand that millions and millions of people every month watch this show? And you're like, don't you talk about my job like that. Like, bro, settle down. Drink chocolate milk through a strawberry straw. You do you. Just
let's ride.
That's why when people get all upset, when people are like, oh, Michigan won.
Bro, you're literally something people look forward to on the program, bro. Like, people are in here to try to figure out how they can prove that Dana Marie is your burner account, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, I love day trading. I made a few bucks this week. Rapture Day +1 still slamming Tylenol and yelling F the world. Exactly right. Exactly right. Jeremy Hinshaw, why are you guys hating on the Big Ten today? Did they announce something? No, we're not hating on the Big Ten. This is, and I appreciate you asking. For those of you just getting to the show today, we're talking about the fight for the college football playoff, and we've been reporting on this show for the better part of a year that Greg Sanki and I want to say Tony Petitti, I think for the last 8 months, there's a schism between those two. They had a falling out over AQs because according to our sources, Greg Sanki doesn't want AQs. Greg Sanki wants it to be strength of schedule, strength of opponent, how many games you won.
Which, in my opinion, is how it should be, just for the record.
It is as simple as if you're going to play a 12-game schedule, you need to play 12 P4 teams. And the only way to do that across the board is to have this new entity, a super league, as we used to call it, but to have this new entity, and Tony Petitti does not want that. He's got his athletic directors trying to find models that will keep automatic qualifiers for the Big Ten in place because Tony Petitti is well aware he does not have the strength of schedule in conference to fight this fight. And you're starting to see the SEC, and again, I'll just go back to the schedule. The reason that this schematic right here matters is because it's very difficult to argue against 2026 Alabama when that schedule that's going to include Auburn, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina, A&M, and LSU, and who knows where Vandy goes, but Vandy, it's going to be very difficult to keep Alabama out of the college football playoff, and he knows that by any measure, that if Alabama wins their games, you look at Georgia, they're playing Auburn, Florida, South Carolina, Missouri, Oklahoma, Alabama, Arkansas, and Ole Miss. It's going to be really tough to keep Georgia out of the college football playoff. It's going to be really tough to keep the Ole Miss out of the playoff when they have LSU, Oklahoma, Georgia, Auburn, Missouri, Florida, Texas, and Vandy. So Greg Sanki doesn't need automatic qualifiers. I think Greg Sanki wants a 16-team format in a new entity that is solely determined by how many games you won. And if you both won 10 games, what was your strength of schedule and what was your record against P4s or common P4 opponents? Because I am telling you now, when this new entity gets here, and I am told that this is one of the specific conversations that Greg Sanki and Brett Yormark have talked about and agreed upon, that when a new entity gets here, you will only play P4 teams. That's it, period. End of story. You will not play G5s. You will not play Waxahachie Coffee Grinders University. You will play P4 opponents, and they will all be part of this new entity, and you will not play games outside of the new entity. Period. End of story. And when you do it that way, it is almost, what is your record? What is your strength of schedule? And that strength of schedule will include a strength of opponent component, right? And then what is your record against common opponents? In or out? And that's what it has to be. But the Big Ten wants to keep these insular structures that have allowed the Big Ten to get cock on thigh in last year, to get Michigan to win a national championship, that got Indiana, that got, like, when you're able to get Indiana last year with that strength of schedule, when they lost every game of consequence, when you're able to put, the Epstein Island guys into the playoff and they play SMU and Boise and then they get their doors blown off because Drew Aller actually does not play well in big games. The Big Ten knows it's got an advantage in that scenario. And if the Big Ten's got an advantage, the SEC has a disadvantage. Because you can't even argue, in my opinion, you can't even argue. You put out this schedule schematic, the Big Ten's fucked because you cannot compete with this. You cannot compete with this. You just can't.
Well,
like when you look at all these opponents on a yearly basis, the Big Ten cannot compete with that.
But I think the difference now is that if SC, Oregon, and Washington pick up the pace, if Oregon, like as an example, if Oregon doesn't flop in the CFP last year, and then USC's going the right way, and let's say Washington continues to go the right way, then you potentially have a mix of, like, obviously Ohio State, Michigan, I hate to say it, cock on thigh.
But how many times are we going to talk about what if Oregon? What if the Knuckle Deep Boys had not gotten blown out by Notre Dame? How many what ifs are and I'm not picking on you because I think I was listening to Joel Klatt on the Herd today. And it's this exact conversation about, what if the rapture was real and James Franklin had actually been left behind and Dan Lanning had gone to heaven? Well, maybe Penn State could win that game this weekend. But that's about
Valhalla.
There's too many what if scenarios. We have to play too many mental Olympics to figure out if the Big Ten is better than the SEC. Well, it does. I don't even think it's a question. And I know that tweaks a lot of people, and that's probably not a popular opinion. Because if you look at where our real viewership is, the state of Utah, the state of California, the state of Arizona, the state of Florida, the state of Texas, the state of California. Like, those are not big SEC hotbeds. And I understand ACC fan, and I understand Big Ten fan, and I understand Big 12 fan. But at the end of the day, at some point, the truth has to matter. Who's playing bigger games of consequence in November, the Big Ten or the SEC? It's the SEC, and it's not fucking close. I mean, if we look at, and I truly think Indiana, is absolutely the perfect example of this.
Google me.
Because if you look at Ohio State, if you look at Ohio State, look at their schedule at the end of the year. And from this weekend forward, at Washington, quality win. Minnesota, not great. At Illinois, I don't know. They got their ass kicked last week. But
That's
quality
win this year.
Wisconsin, at Wisconsin.
Not a quality win.
Knuckle deep boys.
Quality win.
At Purdue. UCLA, Rutgers, and then they play at Michigan. Like, that's not a great schedule. Right? That's not a great it's good, but it's only good because Illinois and Washington are sort of raising the bar. Washington's not ranked. And I think Washington's one of the 25 best teams in the country. I don't even question that. Right? But if I go look at Penn State, how does Penn State not go undefeated? Oh, that's right. They did all those terrible crimes to children, so their karma's bad.
How do they not go undefeated? James Franklin's 4-20 against top 10 teams. So,
Oregon, at UCLA, Northwestern, at Iowa, at Ohio State, Indiana, at Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers. They play nobody the last month of the season. Oh, we're on a roll, Monty. Look at us. Oh, my God.
Excuse me. We are
not. Right? But that's my issue. Indiana. Again, Indiana. Here's Indiana's schedule. Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, Illinois, Iowa, at Oregon, Michigan State, UCLA, at Maryland, cock on thigh, Wisconsin, at Purdue. That's not a great schedule.
No.
So isn't Indiana at Epstein Island? Isn't that an elimination game then?
Should be.
Not if you have automatic qualifiers.
Well, that's why the Big Ten wants automatic qualifiers.
Yes,
but I think,
which is my entire point.
Yeah, I think the balls of it too is like, the Big Ten went on this whole charade about the SEC not playing 9 conference games and 10 P4s and all that, and now the SEC flipped the script on it, and so now it's like, all right, well, the Big Ten doesn't have a mandate yet, and while I believe the number is like 91% of the league or something like that. It's every team except for like 4 left. It's like, I can't remember the teams. It's like Maryland and Rutgers and or whatever. Like, you have Washington, I think, was one. There's like 4 or 5 teams that don't play 9 conference games this year. So to me, it's like, the Big Ten has had this flipped on them now. And I think that what's difficult about that is there was this whole play over the summer, like all the Big Ten homers in the chat are like, oh, we are affecting change, Monty. We've got the SEC by the balls, like Tony Petit or die. And it's like, well, now that didn't really work out for you, because now we've got scheduling matrices showing you that the SEC is going to play a better schedule than you basically every single year, unless, Lincoln can figure it out in LA. And Jed can figure it out with Washington. Because in my opinion, whether you like them or not, Oregon's a quality win right now, right? Like, I mean, like in the regular season, Oregon right now today is a quality win. So for me with the Big Ten, I think you've got 4 teams that would be considered a quality win, right? And obviously that's Oregon, cock on thigh, Ohio State, and Michigan. Those 4 to me are quality wins, even with Michigan being down. Like, I would say the Oklahoma win over Michigan was a really quality win for Oklahoma. So I think the problem for the Big Ten is that you don't have 5, 6, 7, 8 teams the way the SEC does. You have 4 right now if you want to be nice about Michigan. And that's why I'm saying it needs to change. But I think the good news, if you're a Big Ten fan, is that at least now you have teams in the conference that theoretically should be able to improve. And that wasn't the case as soon as 2 seasons ago. So
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. All right, a Monty Show exclusive coming up in 30 seconds, and it's exactly about this. It is a big story, and I think it largely changes the frame of this discussion quite a bit. I'll tell you what it is after this from the advocates.
You're not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
The Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, and I'll continue to tell you this on a regular basis, you guys. When you get in a car accident, I am begging you, please do not trust your insurance company. They are not working for you. How many times in this country have we seen somebody's house burned down? You didn't have fire insurance. A hurricane. Well, it wasn't the hurricane. It was the flooding. Oh, you had flood insurance. No, it was the wind. Well, they're always fighting to find a way not to pay you. You get in a car accident, you get hurt at work, your neighbor's dog attacks your child or you. You didn't deserve that, but you do deserve an advocate, somebody who can fight for you, somebody who's fought the fight and won the fight that you're about to take part in. Yeah, you need that. That's the Advocates. They fought insurance companies. They've beaten insurance companies. That's why they're the best insurance fighter in the business. Get clear, risk-free advice right now and 24 hours a day, 365 days a year at theadvocates.com. And the best part is you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. So you have nothing to lose at theadvocates.com. All right, a Monty Show exclusive. Multiple sources confirmed to us that SEC Commissioner Greg Sanki has had exclusive one-on-one conversations. Not conference calls, not, hey, here's all the P4 commissioners. Greg Sanki has spoken multiple times to Donald Trump one-on-one by phone. He has also had a call with Donald Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson one-on-one, talking specifically about the SCORE Act and the future of college football. I think this is a big story because it completely reframes the conversation about who is really pulling the strings in college football. And I think all this does is continue to push the narrative forward. Greg Sanki is going to largely determine the future of the college football playoff. Because if you don't know, the SCORE Act essentially is going to it is going to be the mechanism that is used to create this new entity to reshape the championship of college football, the money-making operation, and insulate college football programs, its leadership, its universities from the continuing lawsuits and litigations that have held them up. The idea that Greg Sanki has one-to-one conversations with President Trump and Speaker Mike Johnson tells you that he is influencing and shaping the direction of the SCORE Act. Jake, I think this is absolutely a game changer for college football.
Yeah, I just think it makes it really clear that no matter how you want to categorize it or however you want to describe this, Greg Sanki's the one that is the middleman and right in the driver's seat. And I think that it's not to say that people like Tony Petitti don't have a say or Jim Phillips or Brett Yormark, but I do think it sends a very clear message that while we don't have a new entity in college football for the playoff system yet, we already have this dynamic at play where Greg Sanki is representing all of college football with our political leaders, whether you like them or not. And I think that's the, we've kind of known that Greg and Donnie and company, were, it was kind of understood that those talks were kind of ongoing. But I think the idea that we have information that says they've talked one-on-one and had intimate conversations about it, I think it just kind of reaffirms who's in control. And what's difficult to understand at this juncture, just because obviously we're not in the room, is like, all right, well, if they're having one-on-one conversations, how much sway does Greg Sanki truly have? I mean, is it a thing where Greg can be like, hey, Donnie, like this is, what me and my colleagues have talked about in college football. This is what we feel, needs to happen in terms of like structure and setup. And this is kind of the needs that need to be taken care of so everybody benefits and college football can move forward. Is that the kind of conversation we're having? Or are we having a conversation that's more like, hey, the SEC plays the best schedule and we're the best. And, this is why we're in control. And like, I'm just curious how he's advocating and positioning these conversations. Those are the things that really stand out to me is, interesting opportunities if you're Greg Sanki, and
Huge.
what, like if you're talking to the president of the United States one-on-one because you are inevitably going to need political help here or to get legislature through Congress, that's just a big deal. And the fact that it's the commissioner of the SEC and not the commissioner of the Big Ten, I think that's a pretty powerful thing, man.
Yeah, and I think you also have to remember that Donald Trump, once he issued that executive order that we talked about for a week on this show, once he did that and it gave birth to the SCORE Act, you start to understand that the SCORE Act is a big flipping deal. The Student Collegiate Opportunity Resources and Education Act, you see that line, it seeks to create federal framework for college sports. And I think it's a big one because I think it very closely mirrors Donald Trump's executive order. And if Greg Sanki is having conversations about this, I also would remind you, the conversation with Speaker Johnson is probably more important, more significant. It has more leverage because it paints a picture, and I don't know this to be true, and I don't know that anybody knows it to be true, but it paints a picture that says Greg Sanki has the ear of the most powerful people in Washington who are going to determine the future of college athletics. And what that means is Greg Sanki is playing a major, major part in determining the future of college athletics and college football. And it does not surprise me at all. My guess is that all voices are being heard. Some are weighted more significantly than others. I think this is a major, major moment in time that we are now finding out the lengths to which Speaker Johnson, the Republican Party, because this really is a Republican initiative. And again, I go back to, and I continue to tell you, I think this has to happen before the midterms. Because I think when you look at the way that the Republicans are pushing this through, this is an executive order from Donald Trump, and I believe it's already passed through committee. It instructs the U.S. Department of Justice to develop strategies to defend the NCAA from antitrust lawsuits. That strategy very clearly is to create a new entity that college football operates inside of exclusively.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to need congressional support and legislation. And I think that's what Greg Sanki's talking about, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just think it's what the system needs. Everyone in our comment section talks so much about how they were burnt out about litigation talk with, the Pac-12 and the Mountain West, and even the the House stuff, versus NCAA or whatever, like to get rev sharing done. Like there is a high burnout factor with paperwork and legislation, and I think that it just is a thing where more money in this sport has created more problems, but also it's created some opportunity. And I think that, the thing that you guys need to pay attention to is, what is this? What kind of limitations does this put on the sport, if any? Because I'm not sure that there will be any limitations, really.
I don't think about it.
I think it really will open things up. But I really hope that through this process, that this doesn't take, again, like you mentioned, the midterms. If they're going to get this done and get it done reliably, yeah, I would agree it has to happen before the midterms. But I just think for the sake of the conversation, this can't be like a, hey, let's, I always reference like the priority stack that's on, the great desk in the Oval Office. Like this needs to move up the stack and get done for the sake of the sport, because every year that goes by,
with that, yeah.
Bro, every year that goes by where we're playing this NIL game and this portal game, and obviously we just went to one portal, which I think is great, but still we have a portal, we have NIL, and we have kids moving around teams a lot. Every year that takes place, that's hurting your ability to get more investment and bigger pools of money into the sport, because that's what everyone wants. It's like, it's like what Cody Campbell keeps talking about, right? Hey, we need to get more money into this sport so we can all benefit at a higher level, right? Rising tide raises all ships. That, to me, is what this is about. If the SEC continues to dominate and takes that momentum into the new entity, and Greg Sankey's tight with Donnie, and they're able to get a college football, new entity that has antitrust exemption and everything. I mean, that's, it doesn't really get much better than that if you're an SEC fan, in my opinion.
Yeah. Is this too much influence for Greg Sankey?
It's a legitimate question, dude.
I think it is very much a legitimate question. And the answer is, I don't know. I mean, I think
even if
Greg
it was,
Sankey,
how would you change it? That's the thing.
I think that's true. I think that's very true. I think that's very true. Welcome, Sarge, to the membership. Sarge, appreciate the Air Force logo there. Let's see who's in on this. Man, look at you guys with the comment section today. The Scorax sounds like a football theme strip club. Well, I mean, the Scorax sounds like it would be against the BYU honor code. Okay. Sudden, magically Sankey-licious. Could be.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. Nebraska Steve, Tony Petitti has a say it's his way or the highway, and then we shall stay at 12. Nah, I don't think that's at all or even close to the case, with all due respect. I think Tony shot his shot and he missed. And I think I've heard multiple times that Big Ten presidents are very concerned about how many Big Ten teams are actually competing at the highest level, and how small the financial circle in the Big Ten actually is in football. Because you look at UCLA, and I know behind the scenes in the Big Ten, especially at presidents' meetings and athletic director meetings, there's a lot of pressure on UCLA to start winning football games. And I know I've talked about this for a year now again. I think there is a lot of pressure on UCLA to start winning football games at a very high level. I think it's frankly why there was such a short leash on Deshaun Foster here, and he got fired 3 weeks into the season, because they're spending a lot of money on football at UCLA now over the last 18 months.
Not being rewarded.
And they have not won games. And I think you're looking at a situation in the Big Ten where the edict now is very clear. We need to win a lot more football games. And I think it's why you're looking at Matt Rule having a very hot seat. And they haven't, but they will go to an uneven revenue share if this doesn't get fixed. Because I don't know that the ACC lawsuit has far-reaching implications on other college conferences. The uneven revenue sharing that's happening in the ACC absolutely does.
Yeah, I mean, because it creates a precedent, bro.
I can tell you, Ohio State is all in favor of that, and as they should be, and as you would not be surprised at all.
Well, here's the thing: if you're a school that doesn't win games, but you're in the Big Ten, right? You are what's called a number, right? And what that means is that you're a team that the good teams, the national championship caliber football teams or college football playoff caliber football teams, use to pad stats to build their resume. So you're a number in that equation for them. And the problem is that now that strength of schedule and strength of record are coming to the forefront of the picture, your value as a number is now dissipating. It is evaporating. And so everyone says, well, why hasn't the Big Ten done uneven, unequal revenue sharing to this point? Well, because the teams that are crappy in that conference have massive value to the teams that are good, right? I mean, that's the truth of it. And that value, again, is dissipating and evaporating. And so now it's a thing where it's like, all right, well, dude, if we're going to have to play nine conference games by mandate and 10 P4s. Ohio State and anybody else trying to get into the CFP, their non-con is going to be righteous, dude. Like you're going to have to schedule the biggest games you can, which is why we're seeing stuff like Texas and Ohio State in week 0 or whatever. And so that's where I say, like, that's why unequal revenue sharing would begin to be present in these other conferences. But like in the SEC, I'm not so sure that the SEC would want to induce unequal revenue sharing because the league is already so damn deep. I guess it fits in with the culture because of how competitive it is, but I'm just not sure it's necessary. That's the thing.
Well, necessary, how much of any of this conversation is necessary, right? I mean, these are all things that greed and fear have created the House settlement, have created NIL lawsuits. That's what's created this stuff. So is it necessary? But it's where we are and it's where we're going. And I think when you look at the fact that Tony Petitti, every conference commissioner has a voice. I think right now, Greg Sanki and Brett Yormark are dominating the conversation because you can't believe for a second that the Big Ten's proposal to put 24 teams and have, I think at one point they were talking about having the Big Ten having 8 AQs. That's not happening. I under no circumstance in any environment are people going to get on board with one conference having 8 automatic qualifiers. So you quickly start to understand. And now when you frame these conversations up about why is Greg Sanki getting so much access to Donald Trump and why is Donald Trump giving him access to Speaker Johnson? Well, it's because I think Greg Sanki wants on-field performance to matter. At some point, the games have to matter. And when we start talking about, who Greg Sanki is, I think you just go back to his words and you listen to what he said about strength of schedule. I don't have any question that he wants to eliminate AQs.
Whether people want to agree with it or not, that's up to them. We can go through the analytics and show the rigor of our schedule is different than anyone else's, period. And we had a learning session in September at the CFP about strength of schedule, and strength of schedule isn't everything, but it is an important factor. I remember very clearly one of the messages was, if you play the top-ranked team and the 130th ranked team, those two games average out to 65.5. If you play 65 and 66, they average out to 65.5. And so the advisor said, you're just as well playing 65 and 66. Here's my problem. But for maybe 2 teams in a year, we don't have 65 or 66, and everybody else has a group.
Facts. Like, you don't have Rutgers in the SEC. You don't have Rutgers and Purdue and Minnesota and Northwestern and like, you don't have that in the SEC. And I agree, it's a problem, but reframe this comment right here. Like, do you remember who is Greg Sanki talking about in this bite right here?
I don't need lectures from others about good of the game. I don't lecture others about good of the game. And coordinating press releases about good of the game. Again, okay, you can issue your press statement, but I'm actually looking for ideas to move us forward.
Who's he talking to? I think he's talking to Tony Petitti.
Yeah.
I think he's talking to Tony Petitti with that. And when Greg Sanki is golfing with the president, which I told you how many weeks ago that they've golfed over the summer together. Now I have multiple sources saying that they've had, one-on-one conversations about the future of college football. Guys, this is not accidental. Greg Sanki has influence, and I think you listen to him talk about how he wants ideas and solutions. And I'll go back to what he told me at ESPN Radio, that he's not trying to shrink college football by any stretch of the imagination. He's trying to I think he wants I think he wants out of the AQ game. He wants wins, losses, strength of schedule, and strength of opponent. I think that's what he wants.
The Big Ten to put their mouth on the field, dude. Hey, no more AQs, no more committees, no more free passes, dude. Put your ass on the field and let's play the game and we'll see what it is. And again, all you Big Ten homers want to talk a bunch of junk about the beating Texas. Okay, great. You had your day. But if you ran that same formula over the whole conference, I don't think you'd like the result.
But if we go back, but it's interesting you say that. If it doesn't this reframe my exclusive reporting on Tony Petitti, in August when he was making that statement about Michigan to the Committee on Infractions, and people are like, oh, he's defending Michigan. And I told you through our sources that he wasn't defending Michigan. He was defending the Big Ten, because it is without question the Big Ten needs Michigan to win football games, and a lot of them. Because when Michigan wins 10 games, they're in the college football playoff. It's not a discussion. When Ohio State wins 10 games, when Notre Dame, when Alabama, when all these Big Ten teams are shit, it doesn't matter, because if Michigan and Ohio State get into a 4-team playoff because they won 10 games, but now how does that conversation change when we're talking about having a 12-team and a 16-team? It changes significantly. Now it's not good enough to just win 10 games because you beat the hell out of Rutgers and Minnesota. Illinois needs to be good. To your point, USC needs to be good. Washington needs to be good. Oregon can't lose in the first round of the playoff, right? Like these are all things now where when Tony Petitti says, hey, you need to take it easy on Michigan, he isn't defending Michigan. He's defending the interests of the other 15 members of the conference. Because Michigan is vital, absolutely vital. It's why I keep talking about Underwood not transferring. You cannot have Underwood transfer. It cannot happen. They need to be much better, and he needs better coaching. And I'm telling you, Michigan fan, this is the Sharon Moore conversation I've been trying to have that you so irrationally get pissed off about. Because if Bryce Underwood transfers, it's wholly Sharon Moore's inability to coach up a quarterback, which I have been telling you for 3 years now that Sharon Moore is no quarterback whisperer. They're not. The very fact that you're looking, and I am no fan of scumbag Harbaugh's, and I mean both of them or either of them or all of them, but you look at Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's a better quarterback now. Is that because of Sharon Moore? No, I don't think so. The quarterback guy, because whether it is, and again, if you're new to the show, I've been around Jim Harbaugh for years. I covered him in San Francisco. He made Alex Smith a better quarterback. He made Colin Kaepernick a capable quarterback. And then what happened when he left? That thing fell apart. But he made the charade of J.J. McCarthy, who I think has gotten majorly exposed now in the NFL. What has Sharon Moore done for a quarterback at Michigan? You need Sharon Moore to get fired as soon as possible so you can get back to being a dominant football program.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten needs Michigan to be good. You don't have to like it, but I think that's the reality of it, right? Like you have to have Michigan be a relevant football program. And if they lose Underwood, they are not a relevant football program. Simple as, if he transfers, do you fire Sharon Moore the minute he puts his name in the portal?
Probably.
Right? I mean, come on. I don't know how you don't. It just is, yeah. Dude that abides, weren't you just like a week ago downplaying Harbaugh's QB development chops? Not at all. Never. I don't think Jim Harbaugh is a program developer.
No, John Harbaugh is who we were ripping over Lamar.
I think it is Jim Harbaugh's ability to coach quarterbacks is unquestioned. Unquestioned. He cannot build a program because Jim Harbaugh wears your ass out. Like you go ask anybody that was in that 49er locker room, the way he handled Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, it's the day his 49er career came to an end. It just is. Let's be fair. Michigan has never really been known as QBU, but in this day and age of college football, you need to be. You need to be. And this is the Ohio State argument. Ohio State's put how many quarterbacks in the NFL, but what does that matter? Who are you, USC? You're putting quarterbacks in the NFL. And C.J. Stroud, like, where's C.J. Stroud gone? Oh, that's right. He's got a really good defensive coordinator as his head coach.
Do you guys understand that in the history of the CFP, since it was started, right, in 2014, the SEC's played 45 CFP games? You understand that? Big Ten's only played 31. So you can sit here, I see all you guys commenting about, oh, last 2 years, national championship, Big Ten's the best. Okay, cool. Well, the track record says that the Big Ten's not really all that close. Like, when you talk about total entries, total
100%.
quality, total participation, you know, like, it's not really that close, man. Like, the Big Ten's winning percentage in the history of the CFP is 500. 524, barely, like, just over 500. The SEC is at least a 667 in the CFP. Like, I just think that there is no convincing Big Ten homer about the quality of the SEC. And yeah, you can say that we're knee padding the SEC, whatever you want to say, dude. But all I'm telling you guys is, if you said, okay, we're gonna play Ohio State versus the best team in the SEC on a neutral site, who do you think is gonna win? I mean, most years I'm probably gonna say the SEC team, probably, but you know, I just think that people like to forget the bigger picture. You guys just want to look at the last 2 years. And you know, I loved last year's Ohio State team. Goated team, Hall of Fame team, one of the best teams college football has ever seen. And Ryan Day deserves a lot of credit. It's not even really about hating on them, but there's just, I think we just like to forget the bigger picture and the total track record of what the SEC's done.
Yeah, I don't know how this ends up. I think it is a really, it's a really fascinating conversation, and we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes, because I think the future is very uncertain. Mike Smith, Harbaugh can build a program. He cannot sustain it as his arsehole ways run people off. Totally agree. That's a great way to put that. Sean, good afternoon, Sean. Stay at 12. Nah, 12's too much. I think 16 is the perfect number. But, okay, fair enough. Program developer, although the Chargers sucked without him. But it's not that Jim Harbaugh doesn't have a glow about him when he comes to a team. You look at San Diego, then Stanford, then the 49ers, then cheat again, and now back to the Chargers. They all win, but what happens? Well, they don't win a Super Bowl or a national championship. And then you just slam into this brick wall. And Michigan might be the best example of this. The absolute destruction of Michigan in totality. The football brand, the ethics, the integrity, the name of the institution. Jim Harbaugh shit all over that. And then you offered to make him the highest paid coach in the history of college football. And he still left. That tells you all you need to know. Jim Harbaugh doesn't like difficult times. So when he gets to Stanford and he cracks the whip and then he wins and people get burned out, well, I'm going to go to the NFL. So nobody really says anything. And David Shaw, and okay, now we go to the 49ers. Cracks the whip. No. Alex Smith, you're a nice guy, but Colin Kaepernick. And then Colin can't make a throw on the goal line in the Super Bowl. So now Jim goes and he plays hero ball at Michigan, and he can't beat anybody at Michigan. And then we start buying tickets and binoculars for people with cell phones. All of a sudden we win games. Oh, and then times got hard, and we're buying cheeseburgers for kids. So now we're going to go coach the Chargers.
Sign stealer guy.
And what's happened? Chargers, defensive. And what are Jim Harbaugh teams known for? Every one that I've ever covered of his. Really good line play. Like Mike Smith said, they run the football very well. Hard nose in the trenches. Really athletic linebackers. What do we have in Los Angeles right now? Really good quarterback play. What did he have with J.J. McCarthy? Exactly what I told you. He's never going to win you a game. J.J.'s not going to lose you a game. And you're going to run the football because you're going to control the line of scrimmage. That's what Jim Harbaugh does. Now, it's just the opposite. Now he's got a Ferrari, and he's actually got good wide receivers. Line's better. They're not going to run the football a lot. Now he's tuning up a quarterback. How long until the brick wall shows up out of nowhere? Because it's coming. And he may well take the Chargers to the top of the AFC. And hell, with a generational quarterback like Herbert, maybe he wins a Super Bowl. How long until he needs a new job? Because it's coming. Nobody ever said he's a bad football coach. Nobody ever said Jim Harbaugh can't tune up a quarterback. Absolutely he can. The guy's a shitbag. He has no morals. He does not care about other people. And he is an asshole. So people get burned out on him. And at some point, Michigan people, you're going to have to come around to the fact that this guy absolutely destroyed everything he ever stood for. And until you do that, you're just going to be like him. Because you can sit here and you can defend the guy. Jim Harbaugh destroyed everything Michigan had ever stood for. And there's no going back on that. Gooby24 off topic, but do you guys believe in Kyler Murray? As a Cardinal fan, I'm out. I've been out. And when we were on the shitbag radio station in Phoenix, we were there when he got drafted, and I said it the day he was drafted. You don't draft a weirdo to be your quarterback.
He's not the problem this year, though.
Well, he's not the problem, but he's not the solution. And I would agree he's not the problem. His contract was a mistake. I look at that division. Who's the best quarterback in the NFC West? I can tell you right now it's not Kyler Murray. Who's the highest paid quarterback in the NFC West? You already know the answer. I'd rather have Sam Darnold running my offense than Kyler Murray. I'd rather have Matthew Stafford. Rocktober, I'd rather have anybody playing for Kyle Shanahan because that guy makes quarterbacks amazing. And Kyler Murray's a guy that I think, I want to look at some of his numbers before I go indicting people, but I look at the numbers on him, and I am forever scarred by the money he's making. And he's making, or excuse me, he's not. Brock, that's right. Brocktober got paid.
Right, yeah.
Brock's averaging $53 million a year. Kyler Murray's 46.1. And
still, that's a ridiculous number.
You guaranteed Kyler Murray $160 million. And I think you always knew he was going to get hurt early because he was going to run a lot. And he's actually turned himself into a very nice passer because he's not a bad passer. What he's not, and I'm trying to be measured, he's not that he just doesn't have it.
He's not a winner, dude. That's his problem.
He's a weird fucking guy. He is, and I don't know how else to say it. You don't draft weird guys like that. And I understand that their offensively, I mean, their offense is 14th in the NFL. Their passing is 8th in the NFL. So he's not necessarily the problem. Right? And if we go overall, I mean, very clearly they have issues, but overall they're the 14th rated team in the NFL right now. He's just not going to take you over the top. That's what I would say. Jake, on this subject, who do you think is better or worse than quarterback wise in the NFL? Like what rank do you put Kyler Murray in?
Mid tier. I mean, I don't mind. I think 14 is probably generous. I mean, I think the problem this year has obviously been Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, how many times can he hit you in the hands and you drop it, right? I mean, you're making him look like Dak at this point, and I think that the problem with the Cardinals largely is the ownership group, and I know they cleared house and they replaced everybody and it's allegedly moving in the right direction, but I don't know, man. They're kind of the hard part is the Cardinals are kind of this irrelevant team out west. Having lived in Arizona for many years, they're out in Glendale. Never. I think I've been to State Farm Stadium twice. Once for a game, once for just an event they had there that we were going to, and it's just a thing where they're not like, as far as the NFL is concerned. I just don't feel like the Cardinals are like really relevant. They haven't really been that guy since Kurt Warner was there and since you were in the playoffs and doing all those great things. And look, Kyler, he did his ACL, came back from that, he's been pretty solid, but I don't know. There was a lot to be made of his relationship with Marv, as he calls him, with Marv in the preseason and in camp and early in the year. So I don't know. I would say he's definitely not the best quarterback in the division. That's for sure. I would take him over, obviously, a lot of the rookies, certainly, but I'm not taking him over probably the top 15 to 17 guys in the league. I mean,
but if you go back to your Marvin Harrison takes,
yeah,
does Justin Herbert make Marvin Harrison a better wide receiver?
I mean, yeah, he does, but but what you can't get away from is those throws that Kyler put on him. I mean, literally hit him right in the hands. I mean, like in the palm of his hand. Like, should have caught it, no question about it. But yeah, I mean, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is with is with any of those great quarterbacks, if he's like if he's with Herbert in your example, yeah, he's probably a better wide receiver, but he's not. He's in a crappy culture. Inside of a crappy organization, inside of an organization that, in my opinion, has been irrelevant for, 5 years, probably 4 years at this point. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a really tough organization to go to and thrive.
Yeah. I also think it's really important to note that he's got, I think, the best tight end in the NFL right now. And you just haven't, I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to go too far with it. I think Trey McBride is a phenomenal. I think he's a phenomenal tight end, and I just think Kyler Murray's a weird guy. That's all I'll say about it. Whoa, what'd you say there, Gooby? I think a lot of these programs find MHJ struggles come from playing in a system that gives him zero reason to be confident.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Oh yeah. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. doesn't play hard, which is Joey Harper. Cardinals drafted Harrison to be like Fitzgerald, but this year he is catching balls like Ella Fitzgerald. Well, I think Kyler Murray's a weird dude, and I think it's the biggest problem. It is. Short bus. As someone who worked for the Cardinals for 5 years, I could tell you that team is straight cursed, and a lot of people agree with you. A lot of people agree with you on that. But I think it's really interesting. I think it's really interesting that when I look at that division, I don't think Kyler Murray is one of the Brock Purdy or Kyler Murray. That's close. I don't
know, which team are we playing for?
Yeah, that's very difficult. That's a very difficult one to answer. That's one where I don't have like a clear cut, because the numbers aren't that different. I think Brock Purdy is way overpaid. I think we've all talked about that.
But I also think the weirdness thing goes further than just he's a weird guy personality wise. Who do you want representing the organization? Who do you want to be the face of your team? Who do you want? Who's the guy that you want answering questions. Who's the guy that you want, sign an autograph? Like it goes so much further than just like, because again, Kyler was the guy that was a 2-sport athlete, and there was all this drama about him going to the A's, and he was going to play infield, and yada yada yada. He's never really been like about the organization, which again, I don't 100% blame him for that. The Cardinals are not a great organization, never have been, probably never will be. The Bidwell family is just a joke of an ownership group. But
they are.
With all of that being said, I mean, it's one thing to be in a bad situation and do your best and like represent yourself in the organization the best you can, but it's a completely different thing to be weird ass dude in the first 2 years of your rookie deal who wanted nothing to do with the media and just couldn't figure it out. And, it's just not like, when's the last time you saw Kyler Murray do like a national interview? Like, when was the last time you saw Kyler Murray like out in the spotlight trying to grow the Cardinals brand? Like, he just doesn't do it, man. Like, he's just not that guy. So that's
what kind
my
of
issue.
fuckery is this? No coach in SECville is decent, not a single one. Okay. I'm going to guess you're a Michigan fan. You're talking about crappy coaches and you're a Michigan fan? I think Kirby Smart, Steve Sarkisian, Ryan Day, those are probably the 3 best coaches in college football. I want to say 2 or 3 of those are in the SEC. And yeah, get angry and do it somewhere else. The pure number of Michigan fans who come in here and say idiotic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that we were going to have another one. Like, that's crazy to me. There are no good coaches in the SEC. Okay. That's wild. Correct. Barry was the other, but like you said, he had Jimmy's teams for the most part. Yeah, there is that. Would love to hear you guys' picks for Thursday night football.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. I think the Seahawks right now, I think the Seahawks are one of the best teams in the NFC. And I don't know that they're getting enough. That game's in Arizona, though. It's only 1.5, and I think that's for Seattle. I think home dogs on Thursday night do notoriously well.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying there's not going to be much points scored in this game. I mean, 43.5 for these two. I mean,
well, the defense is. I mean, if you look at the.
And by the way, that went down by a point. It started at 44.5.
Yeah, I think if you start looking at team defenses and you start understanding. The Seahawks, I think, are still 7th in the NFL in defense at a 71-3. Arizona is not far behind that. I think Arizona is like 11th at 68. I mean, they're not behind that. I mean, Arizona's problems are they can't tackle at all. That's one of the worst tackling teams in the NFL. But I think when you look at their tackling and their run defense, but it's tougher to throw on them. I mean, their coverage grades are actually really good. And I think when you start looking at the Seahawks, that's where this game will be win or loss, because the Seahawks, in my opinion, are significantly less able in coverage, but they are also significantly better against the run. So this is a game where Marvin Harrison should play well. Trey McBride should play well. Doctor, go to word timeout. Yeah. Don't feed the animals, you guys. Don't do it. Okay. People think Dawn is me. How can Dr. Detroit not be a burner account?
Okay,
I'm certain it is.
First question.
And you know it's not fucking Dawn. You know it's Dana.
Why are you saying Dawn? Don't do this. See, James, you complain about people criticizing whatever, charting means and like your job. Like,
don't you talk about my career, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you're getting all red-faced and worked up and turning the device on. Like,
you gotta crank up the butt buzzer.
Yeah, like, dude, charge that thing up and admit that it's not Dawn, it's Dana. Because I haven't seen Dana comment in about 90 minutes since you said you were going to go charting. So, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah, and I don't know where you get that Dan Lanning's more capable than Steve Sarkisian. But
quick question: how? Explain it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to. If you're gonna say dumbass things, and I'm a Dan Lanning guy. If you're gonna say dumb things, you need to explain that, because there's no way you're sitting here able to justify that take.
Do you guys hate Thursday Night Football?
I hate crap matchup Thursday Night Football.
This is a great matchup, though.
Yeah, this is a good matchup. But I last year, man, was loaded with like Panthers, Texans. Cool. No interest. I'm watching Netflix. Like, dude, get the hell out of here, bro. Like, I'm not interested, man.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't have a burner account. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You have like four. You have like four
Dude,
YouTube
you have
accounts.
more burner accounts than you have teams you're a fan of. We just haven't found the other ones yet in the rectory.
Daniel says, if Ohio State needed a coach, I'd want Lanning over Sark. Well, that's a conversation you can have. Yeah. Why do you want Lanning over Sarkisian? I think, and Daniel, I think this is a really interesting conversation. What do you want in a college coach? Because I'm just going to keep going back to Ryan Day. Ryan Day, I mean, you lose a really good defensive coordinator, and what do? You turn around and hire Matt Patricia, who's been unbelievable. You need an elite head coach that's offensive-minded. And yes, there are some exceptions. Kirby, I totally get it. You need an elite coach that's offensive-minded who can go and hire an elite defensive guy. Pete Kwiatkowski at Texas with Steve Sarkisian. I think that's the best 1-2 coaching staff in the country. And I say that bar none. Because I look at it. Does Sark make the right call at the right time in the big game? Not all the time. No, he doesn't. But I'm telling you, that defense, I still maintain.
Well, I think
Texas and Ohio State they're really close defensively.
He's made more of the right call than he's made the wrong call. He had a bad game against ASU, and that's what everyone wants to lean on. But you can't just be like, oh, well, he had a bad game against ASU, so he's bad at not that you're saying that, but I think a lot of people like to do that. Is like, oh, well, that ASU game. It's like, yeah, that was one game, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Jake, I just don't see a discernible difference between Dan Lanning and Steve Sarkisian.
Well, I think the big difference is age and philosophy, right? I mean,
well, Dan's a defensive guy.
Yeah, right. So it's like offensive guy, defensive guy. So like my feelings on it are, the reason I like Dan Lanning so much is really simple. And it's his age, his ability to relate to players, and his ability to motivate players, and obviously his ability to develop players. And if you want to say it's a staff, whatever, they have an ability to develop the hell out of guys, as does Sark in Texas. We see that every single year lately. They are able to take 3 stars, turn them in 5 stars. It's why they're doing what they're doing. But I guess I just like the thing that the advantage I think Oregon sometimes has in terms of narrative is that Oregon always seems to find itself on the side of like, red or assery, right? Like they're never the team that people are like, oh, well, hey, Oregon should beat Georgia. Like nobody's ever really saying that. Like this week, I think people are picking Oregon against cock on thigh. But if you put Oregon up against like, a really good SEC team in the college football playoff, I'm not so sure that everyone would be like, yeah, Dan's beating Georgia. I don't know that everyone would say that.
If we look at some of the numbers on that, I think Dan Lanning's got one of the best offensive guys in college football. Obviously, Sark's got the best defensive guy in football, in my opinion. Like their numbers are, listen, it's philosophical. I'm always,
it's a numbers thing. It's a philosophical. Hey, like, because I don't disagree with the take that the popular blueprint right now is offensive-minded head coach with a bad MFer as your DC. That's like been the formula.
Yes.
But I also don't think there's anything wrong with defensive-minded head coach and a baller OC, because the SEC guys have done that too. So, I don't know. It's a philosophical thing.
I think a la Nick Saban,
and Kirby.
You lose one offensive guy. You just go hire Lane Kiffin, and you go hire Steve Sarkisian, and you go hire Bill O'Brien. Guys like Nick Saban knew what they didn't know. Does Dan Lanning have the ability to go pull one of the best offensive minds in college football? Well, I mean, he's in the playoff and he's at Oregon. I would think so. He's got resources out the YAG, right? The question is, like, Steve Sarkisian and Pete Kwiatkowski are not, like, Pete's not a head coach. He's never wanted to be a head coach, you know. So I feel like, you know, we'll see. Well, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
But my other point on it would just be that Dan does have some things to prove in the CFP. I think that Sark has a few years on him, and
he has wins on him,
and he has wins on him, and that so from that metric, it would lean towards Sark. But I don't know, man. You
resurrect Texas football, from where it was,
yeah.
And you have the talent they have, the defense they have, the quarterbacks they have. I mean, the question is, and this is a tough conversation for Texas fan, is Steve Sarkisian making Arch Manning a better quarterback or not?
Well, you feel like he is, right?
Well, I think last week, having studied a lot of Arch Manning tape over the last 3 weeks, I think he regressed after the Ohio State game. I think he absolutely came to Sam Houston with a completely different attitude, and he's a completely different quarterback in that game. Now, it's fucking Sam Houston. Like, are we really getting excited about that? But the point is, let's see what you got now, because you also look at Texas's schedule again, red assery, but they have a schedule where they're at Florida. They're off this week, then they're at Florida in the Napier ending game, because I think Texas is going to beat Florida by probably 45 points. Then it's Oklahoma in the shootout. At Kentucky.
Wait, say that again? You think Texas is going to beat Florida by a lot?
Oh, yes. I think from what we've seen out of DJ Lagway, he's poorly prepared. And the kid is just tortured against good defenses. And when you look at the defenses he's faced, I mean, he was terrible against LSU, who's an elite defense, and they're only 70% of what Texas is as a defense. Yeah. I mean, I would assume, I think Florida loses that game by 40 points at the Swamp, and that gets Billy fired. Honest to God. But
Gosh,
Texas,
I mean, if they lose by 40, Jesus. I mean, I'm not saying you're way off, but man, the
question
feels like a
is,
huge number.
But here's the question. If you're Texas and you go to the Swamp, should you expect Arch to perform at a high level? Because I do, and he should, and they will.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think the expectations for Arch are ever going to change. I mean, that's the expectation is the expectation. You know, I mean, that's the bar is the bar of Texas.
I would agree with that.
Which, again, conversely, is the issue with Florida right now.
Yep. UF managed to hire one Saban assistant that can't count, can't manage clock, and can't manage talent. Bro, can you imagine if you lose significantly to Texas in 2 weeks? I mean, brutal. Part of Sark's prior problems involved alcohol. Absolutely. I joked about that his first year at Texas, but I think it's fair to say he's gotten that issue under control. Yeah, he's sober. And he's talked a lot about it.
Yeah, listen, I think the conversation, you know, and Sark deserves a lot of credit for that, but in my opinion, he's well past that now. He's been past that. I think that, you know, this Dan Lanning, Sark, you know, Lane Kiffin.
I think Lane Train's over that too, by the way.
Yeah, like I think there's a group of these guys that haven't won a national championship that, you know, have the opportunity to climb the ranks in modern day college football is one of the best to do it. And in my opinion, in modern day college football, with how much influence you have as a head coach in terms of how your team is built, the culture of your staff, the culture of the locker room, like there's a lot of pride in winning a national championship, obviously. And I think that
certainly,
you know, the Ryan Day needs to be fired talk quickly ended when they went on that run last year. And I just look at guys like Dan Lanning, and I look at, you know, certainly Sark and you know, Lane Kiffin, you know, BK, like these guys have an opportunity to go out and win national championships and do that. But How many of them will actually get there? That's my problem with Arch right now for Texas. Is like Texas once again has one of these really good teams, but Arch has them off to a pretty crappy start, with all due respect. And they're working through that. And I agree. It's Sam Houston. Are we really celebrating that? Right? It's Oregon State. Are we really celebrating that? Right? Like, it's like we're now getting into the meat of it. Like, that's been my thing this whole week about Oregon, Penn State. Like, you need to go out and convincingly dominate Penn State. Like, go out and beat them by 10 at their place. And then we can start talking about you being top 5 right now. Like, those are the things you need to do.
I don't disagree with that. Again, I go back to this. It's every year with these teams. I mean, that's Ohio State, Georgia, Texas, and Oregon. I mean, we are talking about the same group of guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that people really struggle with. Oak State needs to hire Dana Marie. Well, Oak State James is going to have to let her out of the rectory for that to happen. You know.
But who's Dana? I thought it was Dawn.
It's pretty remarkable to me that Oak State James is trying to use the name Dawn. Like, I thought it was Dawn. No, you didn't.
We still never talk sometimes.
Right? Like, what do you
mean Dawn, dude? What?
Sometimes I think I just say shit.
Yeah, I think you do too, James. All right, Prize Picks, the official daily fantasy partner of the Monty Show. Awesome new promotion today. 35% payout boost in effect right now. Get the app. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty, 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 to open up a new Prize Picks account. You deposit $5, they'll give you 50 more instantly and a 35% payout boost. All you have to do is opt in. And they have a lightning discount. Blake Snell against the D-backs, 3.5 pitcher strikeouts. I'm in.
Yep.
I'm absolutely in. I think it is without doubt. That's one you got to have. I think the boys, the college football lines on Prize Picks are incredible. You've got Dante Moore for half a passing touchdown. That's a win, dude. That is absolutely a win. I also think it's interesting that Drew Aller for Knuckle Deep Boys, 226.5 passing yards.
No.
Don't you have to go under that?
You have to.
I think you got to go under that. I don't think there's any doubt you got to go under that. I think it's also interesting that Gunnar Stockton's 214.5 passing yards, more or less, against Bama. Ooh.
More.
No, you got to go less. You got to go less. Dante Moore against Cock on Thigh, 222.5. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. He did it to Oak State and he did it to Oregon State, but I'm not convinced. I think I would go less on Dante Moore. And then Katron Allen, 68.5 rushing yards. I think you got to go more. Don't you have to go more on Katron Allen against Oregon rushing yards?
I mean, yeah. Yes.
You don't think so?
I'm not convinced, dude. I'm really not convinced. I mean, it's really difficult to say. Like, yeah, Katron Allen should be very, very reliable. Like, I've got Dante Moore more than half a passing touchdown on the Goblin. You know, I've got Katron Allen more than 68.5, and then Gunnar Stockton, you know, more than 214.5. Like, that should be pretty reliable. But, you know, we'll see.
Oregon's 51st in the country against the run. And I think that I'm really curious. Their coverage grade. I mean, I think Dan Lanning's biggest question is going to be can he stop the run against Knuckle Deep Boys, because they're excellent against the pass. They're a 90.6, tied for 7th in the country in pass coverage.
Yeah, but who have you played? Come on.
Okay. Should I just give you a pass on that comment, or should I? What do you think?
Cock on thigh?
No, Oregon. I think Oregon. I agree. Oregon hasn't played many people, but they've played 4 games. We know what we know what your trends are, at least, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Listen, with their opponents, the very fact that they're 51st in the country against the run at 83%, or rated in 83, 51st in the country, tells me that Drew Aller's not going to have a big game. Not going to have a big game.
But with all due respect, I mean, we knew that. Drew is not. Everyone's like, oh, Drew's can bomb it down the field. Like, I'm hearing all the Big Ten guys say, oh, man, this guy is some incredible. Who? Dude, where was that incredible quarterback against Notre Dame? Where was that incredible quarterback last year? Like, where was the bomb it down the field, just difference-making guy? I don't buy it for a second, dude. This game is very simple, bro. If Oregon stops the run, if Oregon keeps Katron under 100 yards, Penn State's losing this game.
Probably.
It's really, really simple, dude.
Yeah, I think it'll be yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And
I'm just telling you, I would not be sitting here evangelizing Dante Moore. I like the Prize Picks line, but I still think it remains to be seen. If he has a good game here, I'm more than happy to say he's front runner for the Heisman. But I want to see him against quality opposition.
Okay. And then NFL on Prize Picks this weekend. Jalen Hurts, half a passing yard, and Sam Darnold against Arizona, half a passing touchdown. How do you not take both of those?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code Monty, M-O-N-T-Y, Monty. You deposit $5. They'll give you 50 more instantly. As for tonight, I like the Blake Snell. 3.5 pitcher strikeouts. That's a big discount. I don't want to talk about the Cubs. I don't want to talk about the Cubs. We are in a bad way right now. I mean, we're not the Detroit Tigers out of the playoffs already. Jack Flaherty against Cleveland, 5 pitcher strikeouts tonight. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I'm staying away from the Cubs tonight. I took the Blake Snell opportunity, obviously. Taking Juan Soto, more than 8.5 hitter fantasy score. Done that every game.
It's Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, maybe so, dude. But that doesn't mean he's not going to have a decent night. I mean, that's only 5 innings worth of pitcher, right? I mean, he's certainly not going 7 against the Mets. You know, like, and then Jazz Chisholm for 4.5 hitter fantasy score.
Yeah, the Matthew Boyd strikeout number is interesting.
Okay, I don't mean to cut you off here. I think we're having a little bit of a James meltdown mode here.
What do you mean?
Over his car here.
Please leave my car. God, you guys, James, stop. You can laugh all you want, but the base Civic is a good handling car. James. Oh my God. Oak State plumber. That's why you can add a bit of power, a body kit, and nicer seats. A body kit. And you have a Civic Si. But
bro, I'm not putting
a
wide body kit on a base Civic, bro. That's not happening.
James, you don't have a Civic Si. And if you did, I would laugh harder. Listen, man. Are you having a bad day? James, talk to us. Are you having a bad day, James?
Do you want me to leave you and him one-on-one so you can help him?
No, it's not me. No. James, do you need that love that only Jake can give you? Do you need a little one-on-one FaceTime with Jake?
Macaque.
Is that the stick shift that you need right now to kick yourself into a higher gear?
His cock.
Because you certainly do not seem to be a happy dude today. You know, you're like...
You just have to, like, snap out of it a little bit.
You're upset that people are insulting your career. Nobody here has any idea what you do. You're upset that people are insulting your car. You're the one who chose to drive a Japanese shitbox, not us. Nobody made you get a Honda Civic, right?
Ipso facto, it's mine.
Actually, I'm having a great day. Then I don't want to know what you're like on a bad day. With the budget issues at UCLA, I think they will pick a good candidate that is less expensive. They don't have budget issues.
Yeah,
at
well,
UCLA.
you don't get good candidate and less expensive, bud.
They
That
do
doesn't
not.
work.
They do not have budget issues at UCLA. We have gone over this time and time again. They do not. So, let's see. How crazy would it be if Florida hired Mike Gundy?
That's not happening.
Oh my goodness. And for everybody who says we don't know anything about, because I saw a bunch of Oak State fans who, you don't know anything, Monty. What did we report yesterday when the show opened? Mike Gundy was offered a golden parachute, I believe is the term I used. Mike Gundy was offered the easy way out. And Mike Gundy wanted to fight for his job, and he fought for his job, so they had to fire him. What was reported last night around whatever time it was, Jake, 7 or 8?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Mike Gundy was offered the opportunity to retire with Oklahoma State, and he said no, he wanted to continue coaching. Oh, yeah, but I don't know anything about nothing. You know. I love all you Oak State fans getting all upset. Didn't Gundy take a pay cut several years back? No, last year. James is acting out due to his Mike Gundy separation anxiety. I
mean, it could be that. Yeah, it could be that.
You know, Mike Gundy would fit Cal if they fired their coach.
Guys. So
guys.
which
guys.
team should Gundy take the mullet to?
Joey Harper. Well, James has one up over me. I used to have a Honda Matic. Okay. What's a Honda Matic? I'm not saying Honda. Listen, it's not that Honda's a bad vehicle. James is a bad person. So, oh, wait, that came out wrong. No, he's not. It's just very on brand that Oak State James, who likes to say he has inside sources at Oklahoma State that turn out to be the sideline reporter, drives a Honda Civic and parks it out back of the rectory. Is what it is. Actually, I'm hopeful there are several good candidates out there. I think if they get the right guy, Oak State could be better off. Well, better off than Gundy is not saying much.
Now, listen, you can. Why don't you? Because you like to send me Instagram posts every day. Why don't you send me a picture of your Honda? You know, and we can put it on the show and talk through. You know what it is that you shouldn't be doing here. You know, did you not see the Ford incentive program that was rolled out, where even those with poor credit will be given the same rates as those with elite credit? Have you not seen that new program, James? You could get a Ford Focus. You know, you could upgrade.
Well, am I the only one? Yeah, no. Listen, the Cubs have lost 5 straight games. This is not the time to be talking about James's Japanese shitbox. I'm not here for it. You know, we get some guy named Jonah Tong who's 0-1 with a 6 ERA going for the Mets. And if the Cubs lose to some guy named Tong,
Who the fuck are you?
I'm going to take a tong to my Bulls.
Yeah, nice tong.
They cannot lose to the Mets tonight. And I would love nothing more than the Chicago Cubs to have an offensive outburst that is offensive.
Yeah.
The Cubs are in a tailspin. They've lost 5 straight. I told you they partied way too hard when they clinched. And they went to Cincinnati and got absolutely tanked. And I don't know who to believe in that lineup. Truly, I think it's probably Nico who's competing for a batting championship, so that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go 20 to win 120 on the Chicago Cubs.
Chicago.
I've got Blake Snell, pitcher for the Dodgers, more than 6 strikeouts. I've got Jacob deGrom, more than 6.5 strikeouts, and I've got Nico Horner for 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs.
Okay.
Somebody be here to soothe my pain tomorrow after I lose on Prize Picks.
Anita, Dick, and Ming.
All the world needs is a hot hatch, James.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
exactly right.
Yeah, like come on, bro.
That's exactly right. Joey Harper, but Monty, it could be worse. James could have a Yugo. Not even James would drive a Yugo. I have one more entry to chart, then I will go outside and take a picture. Nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see your car, dude.
Okay, what guys? What color is James Honda? James feels like a sun torch.
Well,
blue.
no, he is a TCU fan, so I have to imagine it's purple.
Mm.
Although he is a Chiefs fan, so I have to imagine it's. But he is a Dallas. No, he's not a Dallas Cowboy fan. He's a Chief and a TC or he's a Baylor fan, so I have to imagine it's green.
Smiles and glory holes.
I have to imagine it's green, red, dark blue, gray.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's that old school blue that's like burnt from it being parked outside the rectory all summer.
Okay. Gumby is correct. Okay. It's a Honda Civic.
What color was it then? Red?
Gray.
Oh, gray. Okay.
Dark blue. No, gray. Yeah,
okay.
Pink. Yes. Roki is coming back. He will save our pitching core.
Oh, man,
he got his ass lit up in the minors.
Oh, man,
Dude.
Monty, he's going to start throwing the ghost fork, and we're going to be fine.
Yeah, ghost fork. Anyway. Oh, look, James is going to step away. I think that means butthole rubbing button. Okay.
Oh.
Good for you, buddy.
You know. What do you guys want from me? All right, couple more because then we have to get to some good non-sports stories of the day today. Because and you guys, I appreciate you about this on this show. The very fact that you guys were hitting me up yesterday, asking me why we skip non-sports stories of the day. It's very simple. None of you have hit the like button. Hit the like button.
A price to pay.
Hit the like button. I have no shame. I'm pimping myself out on the like button. You know. I mean, you know.
Do it.
You guys have to do it. Hit the like button. Get it done. And I'll give you some non-sports stories of the day. But I do appreciate that you guys yesterday were asking why I skip non-sports stories. It'll be apparent to you in the coming days why I skip non-sports stories.
That was not a Rapture reference, by the way.
You know, that will be apparent to you why that's happened. Don't forget Bucked Up, the best pre-workout in the world. Black Ant is back at buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty, get 20% off at buckedup.com. Black Ant is amazing. Dudes, if you're not using Bucked Up product, and I'm begging you, I am begging you, please take creatine every single day. It is, in my mind, it is the supplement that you have to have. I think it is so critically important for our brains that you use creatine. And I think 5 grams a day is perfect. I use 15 grams a day. And I am telling you, put it in your oats, if you're a coffee drinker, put it in your coffee. It tastes like nothing. It has no texture. It is one of the easiest supplements to take. You drink orange juice. I put it in my oats every day. Take your creatine. Bucked Up. Creatine monohydrate. Get it 20% off right now at buckedup.com. But if you're a workout guy and you take pre-workout, hook it up. Get the Bucked Up Black Ant pre-workout. Use the promo code Monty. Get 20% off at checkout. Dana Marie gets me bucked up.
Dude, there's just no escape now. It's literally over, dude. There's no escape.
Okay. Vibrator Jim never skips a like. Well, listen, man, we've had 2,800 views and we only have 56 likes. You know, it's hurtful.
Can you do something for me?
It's hurtful, man. Big Blue Horses. I believe Jay Hill will be the next head coach at BYU. I think you could be right. I'm telling you, Kalani's going to get interviews. He is going to get interviews. Chewy Gonzalez, brown starfish stimulator, Monty. Could be. I'll take a free cougar tail. Call Dana Marie. Dana's motto is no shoes, no shirt, all service. Could be.
Bro.
You guys are on one today. Jake Young, facts.
Bro,
okay. I take creatine with my Diana ball. Okay. Creatine in your oats stimulates your mind and your ass.
Y'all feel me?
Dude, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Being on Zepbound, which is tirzepatide, a GLP-1, slows down the system. I put one down the pipe today that is an all-timer.
My word.
I was not sure I would be able to walk again. I gave birth to greatness in the bathroom today, man.
What do I owe this pleasure?
Chad Perling started creatine last week. My guy, good for you. And if you're going to take it regularly, you guys, Bucked Up creatine monohydrate is the best Bucked Up on the market. I really encourage you, buckedup.com, and not just because we work with Bucked Up, but buckedup.com. Use the promo code Monty, get 20% off. I'm telling you, it will change. It will change you. Your brain is, and everybody looks at creatine as, oh, well, I don't lift, Monty. Why do I want to take creatine? Because it's great for your brain. It's great for your gut health.
I've never taken steroids.
Monty had to break out a turd cutter. No, I didn't. Dude, it just, boom. You know. Dana Marie and her big calcium bags talk about creatine. Okay. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means, man. You know. All right. Let's see. Let me ask you guys a couple of things here. The New York Giants benched Russell Wilson to start Jackson Dart, and Jake says this is the wrong move.
Yeah,
Why,
I just
Jake?
don't understand the lack of commitment to the plan. I mean, listen, you signed Russell Wilson. You know, then you draft Jackson Dart, and I love Jackson Dart. I think he's going to do quite well. No problem with him as a guy being the quarterback for the Giants, but I feel like this is a classic Giants mess up. Hey, we're brought in the vet. We didn't stay committed to him, even though we knew we were going to be bad. And now 4 weeks into the year, we're bringing in the rook because all the fans were chanting, we want Jackson Dart. Like, dude, you're not good at footballing for a reason. I'm sorry. Who runs the organization? The fans or the head coach? And
here's why this is exactly the right move. It is exactly the right move because Jackson Dart is the present and the future. Russell Wilson was a stopgap. He sucks. He's not good. That's the reason that Aaron Rodgers is in Pittsburgh. Jackson Dart is the future. You're 0-3. You're a bad football team. If they don't play Jackson Dart, they get fired. If they play Jackson Dart and he fails, they get fired. And I mean the head coach and the GM. And I like Brian Daboll. He's not a head coach. Jackson Dart is going to succeed at a very high level in this league. It is the only shot that Joe Sheen and Brian Daboll have of keeping their job. He has to play well. I think it's the exact right move to make. I believe in Jackson Dart. I believe in Harvey Dent. I believe in Jackson Dart, and I think he will do very well. I think he will do very, very well. Jake Young, Russell Wilson is a headache. Smart move to bench him.
But then why did you ever sign him? That's my thing. Like, again, I have no issue with Jackson. My issue is how you handle the whole thing. If the guy is such a bum and he's terrible and we all know that he sucks.
Because everybody thinks you can fix him. I mean, everybody thinks that one man's trash is your treasure. I mean, that's why we're willing to bang our best friend's ex-girlfriends, because we think, hey, you know, I don't know where that probably out of nowhere.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
You know, it's fine. The Cowboys let Wilson have a good game. It's time to move on. Okay. Will Trump insist on being college football commissioner? Could be. Oh, Oak State James uploaded 2 pictures of the Civic,
and we have it here. We have it here. If you would like to put it on the screen.
Why do you feed the animals, Jake?
Because
why do you feed the animals?
Need material, dude.
No, they don't.
They need material. You know.
And here we have Japanese shitbox. Why am I not okay? Why am I not surprised that you don't have hubcaps on your Honda Civic. Why am I not surprised?
Well, Monty, we're putting a Liberty Walk wide body kit on this thing, Monty. I mean, just add some power, slap on some fenders. It's great.
First of all, I love that you blued out your plate, but what's with the paint fix underneath the logo?
Hey, Morty, he's willing to blue out the plate, but not his credit card number.
Well, you did do that, or your phone number, which you put on the internet on this show a couple of years ago now. But am I the only one who is not at all surprised that Oak State James has no hubcaps on his car? And furthermore, am I the only one that is not at all surprised that somehow, some way, Oak State James once again does not disappoint with just the horrendous vehicle? And again, and I could be wrong, but I believe that's a TCU sunshade. You sell out.
Don't you know who I am?
How are you at all? How are you a TCU fan? Well, Monty, I knuckle deep at TCU for the monastery. Okay. Just because you're 79 years old and you go to TCU does not mean you're not an Oak State fan anymore. Oak State's bad, so you're going to ride the bandwagon. That's what this is. That's what this is.
I mean, listen, we need to talk about, see, exactly. Gabe, you and I are on the same page. We need to talk about the fact that not only are you riding around on Steelies, you've got blacked out tint so that you can hide.
Oh, he does.
When you and Dana are in the same place, so nobody can take pictures and comment on this.
James, were you in Dallas today at the? Never mind.
And then I do have to ask, what happened here on the driver's side quarter panel here by the wheel? Did you hit a mailbox, or was this the rectory?
No, that's duct tape. That's duct tape residue.
Oh, so bad duct tape job on the fender you tried to put on.
Mm-hmm. I still root for the Cowboys. I'm going to then throw away the TCU sunshade then.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Throw it away. Toot Gundy. That dent was caused by Dana.
Bro,
you guys are never going to let that go.
You guys are filthy.
I bet the windows are blacked out because he's got Oklahoma Sooner steering wheel covers.
Would anyone be surprised if this dude rolled out with Boomer Sooner when Mateer gets back?
It's a coupe, which makes it worse. Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay, so James, give us some background. How long have you had this car? Like, are you a hyena and put 87 in this thing, or are you at least running 91?
Is this the road trip car, by the way? Is this the road trip car where you just drive this thing all over creation?
How many miles? This thing has to have over 100,000 miles, right?
Oh, it's got to have over 100.
I mean, are you pushing 200,000 miles with this, dude? I just need a couple of pieces of information. Like, what are we? Because if this thing's only got like 80,000 miles on it, and it is in this condition, that's a you problem, not a Honda problem.
What is on the driver mirror? Is that just like rust or something?
I don't know. That could be sticker residue or residue of some other variety.
God damn it. Did you put a sticker on your mirror cap?
Oh, okay. Here, I've got a better picture. Hold on. Yes, he did.
Did you put a sticker on
Yes,
your
he did.
James? Every time I think the testosterone rises in your body, you put a sticker on your mirror cap. I got the Civic in January. Yes, we have put over 20,000 miles on it.
Okay, no, but how many total miles are on the vehicle?
Yeah, how many total miles? He must have gotten the car from his ex-wife in the divorce. Yeah, is this the Walmart manager's old rig? Why does James have footprints on the headliner? That's what I'm curious about. My car has stickers on.
Okay, check out the new picture. Check out the new picture.
You put stickers on your car, James.
Why? Can I have just a quick question? Why on the mirror cap? Why on the mirror cap, dude?
You literally put a sticker on your mirror cap.
That's right, T.
Please tell me you don't have a "Don't Tread on Me" sticker on your bumper or something. That would be so Texas. How do you have a mirror? How do you have a sticker?
How dare you?
How do you? It's You don't put. We're adults.
James,
we don't
can you
put
take a picture of
stickers
the
on our
back of the car? Back of the
we
car.
don't
I need
put
to see the
stickers
back
on
of
our
the car.
car, man.
Yeah, now I need to see the back of the car. What are we working with?
Are
you the guy that's got a dangling thing from the bumper in the back of the car? Is that
you
dude?
do you have testicles hanging off of your trailer hitch, which inevitably is on this car? How many of us think there's a hitch on this car?
Oh, 100%.
There has to be a hitch on this car.
Yeah, has to be.
Is that a TCU sticker?
Yes. Yeah, it's on the mirror
That's a
cap.
God, you're such a sellout.
Yeah, that's a Fort Worth, Texas, the state of Texas, Fort Worth TCU sticker. Yeah.
That's a TCU sticker.
Yeah.
I want to understand. I want to understand.
My question is, why is it that it's a TCU sunshade and not Oak State sunshade?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, we just have a lot of questions.
No testes on the car. Okay. Douglas, are we evaluating a Civic for a Kelly Blue Book or something?
Oh no, it's much deeper than that, dude. This is a life conversation at this point, dude.
You can't tell me that's not duct tape residue on the bumper. I can't believe. Okay, like the sunshade. Okay, I'm okay with the sunshade, but you put a sticker on the mirror cap.
Yeah, can you walk us through the
child?
Yeah, what was the thought there? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend.
I'm not a sellout. I don't care about your degrees. Bachelor degree at Oak State, DM degree from TCU. Nobody cares about your degrees. You're an Oak State fan. You cannot be a Texas Tech fan. You cannot be a Baylor fan. You can't be a Texas State fan. You can't be a Longhorns fan. And you can't be a TCU fan.
And a Chiefs fan and a Cowboys fan. Don't forget.
Smiles and glory holes.
So is it TCU James now? Yes.
I mean, it should be, but he refuses to change his name,
James has a sticker on his back window that says, "Tell your cat I said yes." He does. Like, pss, pss, pss. Yes. Someone stole his Oak State window shade. They must have.
Dana's borrowing it. That's what this is. Dana's borrowing it. Okay. Okay.
He gave up on OSU. Now Gundy is gone. There you go. That's right. Sticker on the driver's side door says, "Ask about the free candy."
Bro.
James.
Dude.
James is supporting TCU, Baylor, Chiefs, Cowboys, the Bears, Colorado schools of minds are jealous. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
TCU State James. TC State James, exactly. If it makes me so happy I drive a POS and still have better wheels than Oak State.
And I'm a vampire feeding off mass disappointment.
Okay, dude. What do you drive, Demon? What do you drive?
Okay, don't you have, you guys, how many of us have wheels versus hubcaps? I'm not a hubcap guy.
No.
As you're well aware, I am not a hubcap guy. Now, I'm not going to flaunt my awesomeness. I'm not. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, James. I mean, thank you for telling us everything we needed to know. Is your car, you know what, James? One more favor. Just for old Uncle Marty.
F around and find out.
Take a picture of the inside.
Yeah, we need to see the inside, dude. Would you mind, seriously?
Including the back seat. Including the back seat. How much garbage is in that car? Because I have a feeling it's like Jake's car. Because Jake's car is
no, it's not
a garbage. Oh,
no,
dude,
no, it's not.
Jake,
it's not.
Jake, Jacob,
it's not.
Your car's not a mess.
No. Nope.
When did you clean it out?
I washed the Golf 2 weeks ago.
Is your girlfriend's car still a mess?
No
comment, bro.
No.
Yes, it is. Stop. It is too. Jake's girlfriend literally uses her car as like a dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't do it. My wife will leave like lip balm. Bro, I drive an M. Don't leave your protein. Like, my wife likes those little Aloha bars, the protein bars. And
Wrapper in the door.
There was an Aloha wrapper in my door. Like,
yeah.
You know, no pics of the inside. It's messy.
There it is.
It's messy.
There it is. There it is.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
There it is, dude.
It's messy.
Yeah.
It's messy. Vibrator Jim, I'm in the back seat. No pictures, please.
Hello, Instaface.
What does Jake drive?
Oh, that's great, dude.
Jake's got a Golf R, a Volkswagen Golf R.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you, man. And yes, I happen to have a very nice car, and you will not find trash.
You don't. I feel like you haven't known the shitbox life in a long time. I mean, you've been on a run.
Last time?
Yeah, you've been on a run for probably.
Well, the Tacoma. I had a Toyota Tacoma back in 2020.
That wasn't a shitbox though. It just wasn't German.
No, and it was lifted and.
Yeah, that was a pretty. I thought.
What did I have
did a
before
nice job
that?
at that?
I had I had the 5 Series. What did I have before that? I don't remember what I had before that. Oh, I had the Abarth.
Yeah.
The Abarth. Oh, that car was amazing. Before the Abarth, I had the Ford Explorer. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
Before the Explorer, I had the Volvo S40.
What a wild story that was.
Okay, I posted a pic of the back of the Civic.
Oh, okay.
Where are you posting these pictures?
Instagram.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't follow me on Instagram. Chalk lines and tape in the back seat. Honestly, how messy are your cars, guys? How messy are your cars? Because I am not my car. Most of you know what I drive, so you know that it's just not a thing. It is. I have leather stitch seats. Like, no eating in my car. I don't even like to drink in my car. I don't, but I just sent it to you, Jake.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Did you post it, Jake?
Not yet. It's loading. Hang on one second.
Okay.
Just about there.
I am very. Is it bad or good? Am I going to like it or hate it?
No, you're not going to like it. No, you're not. No. Okay, it's there.
God damn it. I love Texas and you have multiple TCU stickers on your car.
Yeah, dude, I don't think you're an Oak State fan, bro. I don't understand how this works, man. How is your car stickered up in TCU stuff and you claim to be an Oak State fan? Legitimately, not even busting balls. How does that work?
What is this license plate frame? JP Williams tries on YouTube?
Hey,
exposing wolves in sheep's clothing?
Hold on.
JP Williams. Okay. We're putting our YouTube channel on our license plate frame. The license plate frame gets me. Okay. What's up with the license plate?
Okay, hold on 1 second.
I love Texas, New York, Oklahoma, Missouri. Exactly. Exposing wolves in sheep's clothing. I'm assuming this is Oak State James is legitimately researching pedophile priests, which is why he always needs the, and now he wants to plug his YouTube channel, which for what you go through on this show for posting pictures of your Japo shitbox is fine. I'm a student now.
I put a close up of the plate in right there so we can get a better look.
JPW Ministries on YouTube. Okay. I mean, listen.
But hold on. If your license plate says exposing wolves in sheep's clothing,
aren't you a wolf in sheep's clothing?
Yeah, is that not what you're doing with your college football teams here, bro?
Or maybe he just likes sheep.
And by the way, what is this? What is this blue sticker here with the hashtag?
Yeah, what's the blue sticker with the hashtag about?
Yeah, what is that, dude?
Is that well, Monty, that's a gate pass to Epstein Island.
Damn.
What now? Let me tell you what now.
Relax, James. I'm kidding. No, I want creeps like Robert Morris and Joe Campbell and Tom. Hey, don't use our show to call people out.
Yeah.
I like the wing on the back. Okay. There is a spoiler there. You know, Texas Tech's backup QB is LDS. I was happy for him. Okay. Joey Harper, last one on this. For James, it should read exposing frogs in Cowboys clothing. That's exactly right.
The blue sticker with a hashtag.
What is it?
It is a universal symbol used by the hashtag Stand Up to Jewish Hate campaign. That's what that sticker means.
How am I supposed to make a joke out of that? Like, I can't make it. Okay.
You want me to say to them?
Okay.
Okay. What lifestyle do we have today?
So it's Rapture Day +1 now.
Right.
Excuse me. Let me go ahead and fix that. Are you guys surprised that we're all still here? I mean, James is a Christian, so you guys know what the rapture is.
Venice Parade.
Yesterday, God was supposed to come down and lift up his children around power lines. You have to be outside and be naked. Don't hold anything in your hands because it makes you heavier. And Jesus was going to lift you up into heaven. And, you know.
Do you believe?
Are you guys at all surprised that the rapture didn't happen and the world didn't come to an end? Jake, are you at all surprised by this?
No, I'm not surprised by this. I think it's fear mongering. I think it is. I have nothing to talk about. Let's make something up. Get people's attention.
Okay. Marcus sent me a picture of his car.
Mm-hmm.
He has an X5M, and he said this is what murdered out looks like. Black over black. And he's got the Pilot Sports on there. Marcus, that's a nice ride, dude. Says he's a fellow BMW M guy.
How are the tires? Did you?
I didn't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not. I'm going to wait.
You just said
I'm going to
no.
wait. I'm just going to wait. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll figure it out before seasons change, but I'm just going to wait.
Okay.
Here's my question about the rapture. Are people this desperate to escape their realities that they want to believe that something that Jesus never said, because nothing Jesus ever said was recorded and he never wrote anything down? Right? And you look at the hard part for me about Christians in the Bible. The Bible today is not even an accurate depiction of what the Bible used to be, because it's been translated over 700 times through multiple languages. And we know that even the disciple names are made up. So you're so desperate to believe something. And I think people are looking for an alternate reality. That's the only thing I can come up with. How else do you explain how many people were excited for the rapture? That's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah, here's what's interesting to me. People are excited about the rapture, but not at all concerned about whether they'd be on the right side or the wrong side of the rapture. That's what I find fascinating. Like people are so confident that they would be saved, that they would go to heaven.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's what I think supports the point, is people are unhappy with their day to day. They don't know how to fix it, maybe unwilling. I don't know. And they're just like, yep, I would definitely, it's like they're saying, hey, here's multi-pass, right? Multi-pass. And I'm getting into heaven and we're good. And I think it's
that's such a good point, because I always say it's not Christ, it's the Christians that are the problem.
Yeah.
Because you look at where people are in this world, and whether it is any of the prejudices we face on a daily basis, whether it is, I mean, you just look at it, how convoluted and convenient people are about what the Bible says.
Yep.
And again, I'll just repeat what I said the other day. The Bible straight up says you don't, and Jesus is not going to tell you when he's coming back. Now, again, remember that Jesus never wrote anything down, and there's no direct transcription of anything he said. And I am as convinced as I have ever been. And as somebody who used to know my Bible very well, it's a work of fiction. And yet people are so certain that the Bible says the rapture. The word rapture never appears in the Bible. Not one time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And there was, here in Utah, there were a bunch of people arguing over whether or not, if the rapture happens, could the LDS community go to heaven? That's the level that this was happening at.
But so then my first question to folks in the LDS community would be, why are you so concerned about the rapture if you're LDS? Like, you have your own system of belief, you have your own sort of, translation as to what you believe. Obviously, it's a little different than traditional Christianity. You have like your system and everything. Like, I guess I don't know. I'm a little burned on the, hey, is it fake or real conversation. I mean, that conversation is going to go on for all of eternity. Like,
yes.
Like, I think that for me, the Bible is much more of a, how do you want to go about life conversation? Like, hey, I'm a big believer. There are lessons, there are positive and negative lessons that the Bible talks about, right?
Yeah.
Whether they're real or not, but like whether the story they're using to teach that lesson is real or not is really none of my concern. I just don't care. Like, that's not the point. But I do think that like, whether you want to, like, if you're a dad out there, or like maybe you have a brother, or you're trying to teach someone younger than you, like, if you want to use the Bible, cool, knock yourself out. If you want to just say, hey, like, this is like, if I said to someone, hey, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. If you feel the need to leverage the Bible to teach what's right and wrong, that's your prerogative, dude.
I just think it's really interesting that we just use the Bible as convenience. I mean, you good luck figuring out biblical Hebrew, which is the original language of the Bible. Yeah. Which is Aramaic, and it's been translated over 700 times throughout hundreds of languages and dialects.
Right.
Nobody knows what the original Bible said.
And nobody knows what happens after we die.
And,
so
right. But
like,
I think the Bible is a very interesting publication, because you hear people, oh, the Bible says abortion's forbidden. The Bible does not say that. Gay marriage is forbidden. The Bible does not say that. Or the rapture. The Bible does not talk about the rapture, and never uses the word rapture, and never use it. Like, it's crazy to me that my belief is people are looking for a way out, an escape.
I agree with that.
To pull a parachute from their realities. I just don't understand it. I truly do not understand it.
And I agree that again, and this is what I've changed on a little bit. As I've gotten older, I just kind of look at it and I'm like, dude, the Bible is literally just like anything else in our world. It's a lot like, kind of like what you're saying, right? Like, it's weaponized probably more than any book known to man, right? Like, it is used and leveraged in a way to push people's narratives more than probably any other book you can come up with, dude. Like
yeah.
It just like, so there's the negative side of it. There's also the positive side of it. The problem is that the negative, the people who are weaponizing it to push a narrative are burning out the people who just are just trying to take the positive from it. And that's where, again, it all kind of comes. This rapture thing is just such a great example of, dude, like, you have to try to create, the life that you want. Like, it takes time. Like, I do feel like this rapture thing is exposing millennials just frustration with their life situation.
100%.
And
yeah, I totally agree.
I think that millennials feel very behind in life, but I think that millennials won't give themselves enough, grace to say, yeah, like economic times have changed. Things are going to take us longer to do than they took prior generations. That doesn't mean it'll never get done, but like it's just a different thing right now. And so, some guy in Africa has got a YouTube channel and says the rapture is going to happen. Like, I don't even like, I'm so past it. I'm like, cool. Like, call this guy a professor. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know this dude. This dude has zero credibility and he's just out here talking just like anybody else, dude.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
so that's the thing.
I agree. Yep. Chewy Gonzalez for $2. Rapture day is off because of daylight savings time and Arizona time too. Oh, look at that. Calford donates 20 Monty Show memberships. Let's go, Calford. Good to see you, my guy. I always appreciate your support. We'll see.
It pains me that people are the escapism term. People are so ready to escape. Like, it's a painful existence, dude. Like, I honestly feel like part of it is like they look at the Bible and they're like, well, like I've been a good person and I've done all the right things. And man, I really hope the rapture happens because I'm just assuming that heaven is real. Like, that's the crazy part. Like, we're just assuming stuff that we know nothing about, dude.
Well, and I also think we have lost the ability to treat people well.
Yeah.
And I think politics in this country is a perfect example of that. I mean, you look at Charlie Kirk, or you look at what happened in Dallas today at the ICE detention center, or any of the heinous acts that we are watching in our government. Like, treat people well. And that should be the baseline, but it's not. Paxton, Monty, do you believe in science or the Bible? Well, as somebody who grew up a hardcore Catholic, I believe in science. I believe in science.
But
I think
a bigger question: why does it have to be mutually exclusive, bro? Like,
because I think it's very difficult to believe in science, and I have gotten to the point where I understand the Bible does not represent your belief in your God or your higher power, whatever it is, right? The Bible is a weapon that is used to oppress people and beat people down, in my opinion. The Bible is not the word of God. The Bible is not the word of Jesus. The Bible is not, because if you believe in science, there's no scientific evidence. If you believe in history, the history says the Bible's a work of fiction, right? It's used conveniently.
Mm-hmm.
It is out of convenience that people will tell you, well, the Bible says 2 men can't have sex, or 2 women can't have sex, or abortion is forbidden. Show me where in the Bible it says abortion is forbidden. Where does it say that? Because I can tell you in the Bible, it talks about how Jesus washed the feet of prostitutes, and Jesus took up for the less fortunate. You say those things out loud today, and you are going to be roundly criticized. Socialist, we're free handouts, homeless people. Do you think if the Jesus sits in the Bible, do you think he'd be building $1 million mansions instead of affordable housing? Do you think Jesus would be kicking people out of our country and sending them to places they are not from and have never been, and putting them in prisons there? Do you think that's what Jesus would be doing? Do you think Jesus would be murdering people who disagreed with him? No. But the good news is the Bible's a work of fiction. It's not an accurate depiction. I mean, it's not rocket science, friends. All organized religion is weaponized by man to... Well, I think there's some of that. Chad Perling says science. I absolutely believe in science. Toot Pants, what time is the rapture in Arizona time zone? I think it's 3 days from now at 4:00, which is actually 9:00 our time.
But there's no GCal invite, so you're not sure if you're attending the meeting.
You're not.
That's a tough part, dude.
Not GCal accepted by Jesus.
Yeah.
Purgatory created by Catholics to make the big donators feel better about their sins. So is confession. So is tithing. So is where did Jesus say that you will give 10% of your paycheck to the Catholic Church? And if you do that, you'll get into heaven. You'll get into heaven. If you give 20% of your paycheck, you'll get into heaven. If you eat a cracker and drink a cup of wine, you'll get into heaven. If you just tell somebody else what you did wrong and confess your sins, you'll get into heaven. It doesn't say that. The only escape I like is the Pina Colada song. There you go. There you go. Didn't King James use the seer stones to translate the tablets Moses brought down from Mount Sinai? Isn't that could be? Sure. I'm just telling you, it's stuff like the rapture and the world coming to the end. Speaking of purgatory, Monty, Cubs are deciding not to play the nursing home in the lineup today. We have a chance. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. At Enriquez, newsflash. Jesus wasn't a white patriotic American. He was a brown-skinned Palestinian Jew. Shh. Don't tell people that.
That doesn't fit the narrative, Ed. Come on.
Son of a Jewish carpenter.
Come on.
The sin of Onan might be the closest thing to abortion in the Bible. If you go and look at what's probably the best, like if a man hits a woman and causes, it's Mary. Oh, Mary willingly gave her life to have the baby. No, Mary didn't have a choice, and she never said she wanted to do it. Right? Like, science is weird when it comes to dinosaurs. Actually, it's not. Science says dinosaurs are real. So, Stadium Guy James, Monty, please keep preaching. I did a series of videos about these knuckleheads who are preachers with $1 million mansions. It's wild to me. Anyway, I don't want to get into, all of that.
Yeah.
But, how about if you like or subscribe? That's your quickest path to heaven.
Well, I mean, that's your tithing to the show, dude. I mean, it's a requirement. So, yeah.
And then there's Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel. And the funny thing is, okay, so obviously Jimmy Kimmel is a lightning rod. I posted a video on Twitter about Jimmy's return, which I thought his opening monologue was exactly what it needed to be. And of course, you have a whole swath of people like, I didn't watch. He should have apologized. So how do you know he didn't apologize? Because you've never watched him. And I love the guy. Who said, I've never watched him before. Why greater than you? See Rob Sampson. I've never watched him before. Why should I be interested now? He's a clown who isn't funny. Well, how do you know he's not funny? You've never watched him. Because Jimmy Kimmel is funny. I don't think anybody argues that Jimmy Kimmel's got jokes. You don't have to. Jimmy Kimmel last night, I think, did exactly what ABC needed him to do. He made jokes. And he went after the president, and he stood up for the First Amendment. Because the best part about Jimmy Kimmel is this wasn't a partisan issue. Because Democrats and a lot of Republicans and conservatives supported Jimmy Kimmel. When you have guys like Ted Cruz, who essentially is Donald Trump's lapdog, when you have Ted Cruz supporting Jimmy Kimmel's First Amendment rights to make jokes about politicians, that's when you know Jimmy Kimmel's in the right spot.
Yeah, here to me, this is why it's so powerful. This is the first time, in my opinion, Republicans have looked down the yellow brick road and said, oh, hold on a second. Donnie just did something and forced something to happen that will come back to torch us when Dems are back in power at some point. Because inevitably, one way or the other, it'll swing back to Democrats and then it'll swing back to Republicans. Like, we all know how this works. So the problem is now there's been a precedent set that, that this is okay somehow. That, hey, Republicans are silencing the liberal Dems. And that is why I think you saw so many Republicans getting out publicly and saying, hey, like this is not good. This is not American. This is not what we should be doing.
But I think, and this probably will not be popular, so I think the problem with this is it shows you that everything in this country has been politicized. And if you're of a certain age, I'm 52. I grew up watching Johnny Carson and Joan Rivers and David Letterman. They didn't really talk about politics like this. We did stupid pet tricks and we had great rock performances and we laughed and we had comedians. When you were a comedian and you crushed on Carson, it made you. We don't do that anymore. We're so fixated on politics in this country that it has permeated and I think infected everything it touches now, because our political culture has gotten so toxic that we're not Americans anymore. And I know I say this all the time, but we're not Americans anymore. We're Democrats or Republicans, conservatives or liberals. The thing that people don't want to get around is Jimmy Kimmel didn't make a joke about Charlie Kirk or Charlie Kirk's murder. That never happened. That was a completely made up narrative. Right? And the hard part is when you're looking to oppress anybody who makes jokes about you, you're going to take something that somebody said, a joke about you, and you're going to run with it. And that's what Donald Trump did here. And he thought that ABC would fall over and die like CBS did.
Bend the knee.
They didn't do that because Donald Trump doesn't have leverage over ABC like he did in spades over CBS, and he does over Fox. He doesn't have that over ABC. He doesn't have that over NBC. And so this idea that you have the FCC chairman who less than a year ago was a champion of First Amendment rights and talked about the importance of political satire to our country, to our society, now saying, because he works for Donald Trump and he's the FCC chair, that he's going to attack ABC's license for not firing Jimmy Kimmel. It tells you where we've gone in this country. And I do think it's very interesting to your point that you have this huge swath of conservative politicians who are like, don't want anything to do with this. I am not, and no, because look how many stood up and said, I support people's First Amendment rights. Free speech is what this country was founded on. Right? When you have all of these politicians talking about we have to defend the First Amendment. And why do you think they did that? Well, because Jimmy Kimmel got 6 million people to watch his show Donald Trump got 6 million people to watch Jimmy Kimmel's show last night.
Yep.
That's why these politicians lined up. Because what Donald Trump did here, I think, by going after somebody who made jokes about him, what he did here was he didn't calculate the unintended consequences of that, which are the public backlash that comes when you try to oppress somebody's rights to make a joke about you. And Jimmy Kimmel said it best. Donald Trump, we're only here because Donald Trump can't take a joke. That's the hard part.
From a guy who he says has no ratings and is untalented.
That's the hard part, right? And yeah, I saw a lot of this on Twitter last night and on my TikTok last night. It's the monologue is readily available on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. It's everywhere on Instagram. Go watch it because it speaks exactly to the heartbeat of the First Amendment.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, I thought he did a really good job.
YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he did a really good job. I thought I thought without explicitly saying it, he sent the message that, you know, he wanted to do this in a pretty responsible way. I mean, obviously still some lighthearted pokes and things like that. Nothing that you wouldn't expect. But I just felt like I guess I just felt like he did a good job. And I have to say, dude, like Jimmy Kimmel's not one that's in my sphere every day. I don't go out of my
Not
way
at
to watch
all.
his stuff. And it's really not a thing of like, oh, he sucks or he's amazing. Like, it's really more of a thing of like, I don't believe that everyone stays up to watch this stuff live when it's aired. I think 9 out of 10 people don't. I think they watch it the next day. I think they consume it at their convenience because
100%.
that's who we are as people. So like, and that's the very nature of late night shows. They're pre-recorded and then aired late night. Like that's the whole point. And I
Yes.
think that I guess I just feel like, and this is just my opinion, speculation, but I feel like this Jimmy thing for the administration, just it obviously it didn't work out the way they wanted it to. I don't think that's rocket science, but I think we're starting to see this thing where it's like they're trying to string together like these different narratives and issues. They're trying to manufacture these issues when there's really not an issue here with Jimmy. He's a comedian. He makes jokes. He made jokes about Biden. Dude, Jimmy's been making jokes about people for a decade now. Like this is not his first rodeo. Like this is not.
But do you see the string of events though?
Yeah, like we went from the Epstein stuff to the Iran bombing to like all these different things, and I guess
all the wars that we haven't ended, and all of this stuff I think continues to be put forward as a distraction from the Epstein stuff, which does not help.
Yeah,
it just does not help.
And I have to say, just an observation, and I know that obviously the Kirk thing, there was a ton of conspiracy theories on it and stuff,
but that's what this Tylenol thing is too, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was getting to is like, I do see, and I don't follow a bunch of conspiracy theory stuff, like generally speaking. I pretty much follow sports stuff, some car stuff, like on social media platforms, but I'm seeing a lot more of like, hey, like this government official was at Kirk's thing and was also at Donnie's shooting. And like, now we've got the Tylenol thing. And like I feel like the public is sort of this sort of mixed pot of like, hey, like what was the Charlie Kirk shooting? Was it what they're saying it was, or was it something different? And whether it is or isn't the point.
We can't ever take anything at face value anymore.
Yeah. And that's the problem. And I just feel like there's not a lot of confidence in what's going on. And yes, my God, yes, I feel like Donald Trump is positioning us to get into a global conflict. Yes, I do.
Look at this situation in Dallas today.
Yeah.
Where you have a guy perched on a rooftop, allegedly, shooting into an ICE detention facility in Dallas, Texas, in the middle of the day, and killing people and then killing himself. And I'm like, what are we doing? And this after the CDC thing. And so it's stuff like, hey, Tylenol is how autism showed up. Well, Tylenol showed up 25 years after autism was first diagnosed. And there's no science behind that. It's just another distraction in our way, so we're not talking about this stuff. And whether it's Jimmy Kimmel, for whatever he is, he's not a massive star until now that you created. And now he is the most powerful man in television now. You cannot touch Jimmy Kimmel now. ABC cannot touch Jimmy Kimmel now.
And I don't know that they want to, honestly.
And I talked about this the other day when this all broke, and you guys were like, oh, they fired him. He's gone. Donnie got him.
He was canceled.
He was never fired. And I tried to tell you guys that. I think we even joked about it on the show yesterday. We had the exclusive that they were negotiating to bring him back. And you still haven't released the Epstein files.
But transparency, drain the swamp,
I just don't know how you.
I feel confident saying that the burnout factor with the greater public is beginning.
I think it is.
And
I really think
people are sick and tired of there constantly being an issue. There's constantly there's someone attacking me, like autism caused by Tylenol. The pandemic was created overseas, like
the
all
autism
this
thing.
stuff.
Do you guys understand that RFK Jr. put an artificial deadline by the end of September? We're going to tell you how autism happened.
That's never going to happen.
Well, it did. They said that was their big announcement. Tylenol causes autism. And it's bad when Dr. Oz completely backs away from it. Yeah. Did you see that spin? Like, I just want to understand where we're going and what we're doing. And I don't know how you fix that. And now we've got this massive storm that is off the coast of Florida that, man, I really, really hope this isn't another Texas flood. And I hope it misses. And there's all kinds of models that say this is going to hit and that Cuba and the Caribbean is going to be destroyed and it's going to go straight across Florida. And then there are other models that say it completely misses the United States and turns back off.
Yeah, that model, the one that says that it misses and turns off is modeled after two hurricanes running into each other and creating a slingshot effect, which we've seen a few times, but it's hard to say if happens. Yeah, it's hard to say. Obviously, it's hard to say if that'll happen or not. But I'm just telling you, whether it's this storm or another storm, the lack of FEMA funding is going to kill people, literally.
It is terrifying.
And I beg the people who live in Florida and Texas, it really all around the Gulf Coast there, dude, like I just would be very careful, man.
Yeah, it is really terrifying. And you start looking at the scope of this storm and you say to yourself, well, what does this look like? And is this a real threat? If you live in Florida, this is why I don't live next to you.
Yeah.
Because this right here is terrifying.
Yeah, dude.
Look at these two storms and look at the path and look how close, no matter what, inevitably, look how close this is going to get.
So the hope is they run into each other. That allegedly is the best case.
That's what people are saying is the best case, is that these two storms, the one that is headed for Haiti and the one that is spinning out there in the middle, because if they don't run into each other, there's very little chance that both of them do not hit Florida.
Yeah.
And Tampa, Miami is in the path of one. And then depending on what this first storm, the more southerly storm does, it could suck Humberto, which is the northern storm, the bigger one. It could suck that storm right back over Central Florida, which is just, I was watching the one of the weather channels, the AccuWeather report today on this, and it is what this storm could be.
We'll see.
Scares the hell out of me, dude.
Thoughts and prayers aren't saving you, people. Ooh. Just saying. Dude,
I really hope it misses.
Yeah.
I really hope it misses, because that would be best. All right. By the Advocates at theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business. There's Jake. See, did I freeze or did you freeze?
I think you did that time, but it doesn't really matter.
Okay. There you have it. Back tomorrow. Don't forget, we're off on Friday. Football Thursday tomorrow. Until tomorrow, Jake.
Say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.